see you go off like a bomb. Now let me see you go off like a bomb.
Start from the entire field.
There's a freight train forming behind him right now. He will be as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I can give you the hot tip. Sideways as a bishop on a chessboard. That was incredible car control.
For a bit of an ambitious dive now, and oh, there's contact! Here they come now, around the final turn on the final lap, they're side by side!
Oh, there's contact now. Someone is going to be hitting the showers early tonight, I'll tell you what.
Crosses the line for P1, brilliant racing, absolutely sensational stuff.
This is heart pounding, this is nerves rising, this is sensational TV.
All right, you mob. Settle down for a tick, crack a fresh tinny, and have a squint up the hill here at Mount Panorama, just outside a small town in New South Wales called Bathurst. Now, this isn't just a racetrack. This is a great big Aussie mountain with a ribbon of bitumen wrapped around it like an eastern brown snake. A challenge to every driver brave enough to have a crack. Up Mountain Straight, the donks start howling, the engines are barking, and as the cars charge with Skyline, the road suddenly disappears beneath them, and then you get yourselves into a stomach-turning situation and your courage gets tested real quick. From there, it's a wild dance down through the S's. One so close, you could just about slap them as you go past or get a crowbar out, whichever one of description you shall please. One wrong twitch of the wheel and the mountain will hit back harder than a cranky kangaroo. Then comes a dipper, a stow street that the cars plunge down it like they're unclogging a loo. And if you make it through all of that without turning the car into a piece of scrap metal, you unleash the horses down Conrod, flap to the boards, engines roaring across the valley, just like thunder rolling through the hills. This lump has been watching drivers come up here for decades. The hotshots, the legends, the young blokes thinking they're 10 foot tall and bulletproof. Some leave with glory, some leave wondering how the bloody hell the mountain got me again. But the truth is simple. Out here, the mountain does not care who you are. Champion, rookie, big team, backyard battler, it makes no difference. And every lap up this hill is a war. A war against the walls. A war against the car. A war against your old nerve. With the season's last dance upon us, the word one means more than the finishing position. One last climb up the mountain. One last shot of glory to add to your Tinder bio. And one last chance to write your name into Bathurst history. And tonight, it all comes down to this. Aussie Sim Racing's GT3 Challenge is battling out on the most unforgiving piece of race track in Australia, beaming into your optic nerves live on the home of sim racing broadcasting, Sensational TV.
Oh, yes, she's alive, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely get involved. Thank you very much for Racing with Rabs. He's made his way into the commentary box. Welcome, everyone, and welcome, Rabs, to Sensational TV, the sensational, the stupendous, the spiritually significant home of the sim racing broadcast in this great sun-scorched, sorry-stoked nation of ours. My name is Chris Munro, and what a season it has been. Breathtaking battles, blistering braking zones, and some truly biblical moments of bewildering bravery behind the wheel of these GT3 machines. Snarling, screaming, supremely sideways servants of speed that has given us a season for the ages. And tonight it all comes down to this. It's the finale, and we have arrived. And destiny, as always intended, at the mighty, the magnificent, the merciless Mount Panorama Bathurst Circuit. This mountain, the Mecca, the place where championships are made, broken, and occasionally launched sideways into the Armco. Dan Smith leads, and I'll tell you what, let's get the standings up there, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Smith does lead. Little Duffy lurks. About 68 points separate them, which in Bathurst terms is roughly the distance between glory and a very long, very quiet drive home. One race, one mountain, infinite drama. And ladies and gentlemen, riding shotgun in the box with me tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's Zach O'Reilly, a man who once ate an entire wheel of camembert cheese and didn't shit for 8 weeks. Welcome to the Combox, Zach O'Reilly.
And when I did, Christopher, I lost about 8 kilos and had to go to the ER. For Christ's sake, it was horrible. Thank you, mate. Good to be here with you. And what a season it has been, as you said, just an absolute rip snorter. And that's down to this for the minor placings. And we've got a lot of racing ahead of us tonight. 90 minutes is the session. And with qualifying 16 minutes and 20 seconds in, it's starting to heat up at the front. Look at those times. 2-minute deads around this circuit in a restricted GT3 car. Boy, oh boy, these boys showing us what the pace is like, Chris.
Yeah, it's balls to the wall up there. If anyone has ever driven a lap around Bathurst, you know just how hard it is to squeeze those extra tenths out. And these guys at the front, Ryan Hunter, Ty Seville, separated by an official bees dick here at Bathurst tonight. One in the BMW, one in the Mustang. I think the Mustangs are looking pretty strong around here as well, with Ryan Ferber not too far behind, only about half a second. But, I mean, half a second around a 2-minute course isn't that much indeed. But I'll tell you what, the front two are separated by absolutely nothing. And you can see the gaps all the way down there. It's going to be a feisty one in the mid-pack there. Look at that. Pretty much from 5th all the way down to 15th is going to be tight as a whale's bumhole.
Yeah, or a camel's bumhole in the desert, whichever one. A couple of animals out there it is going to be. And you can just see the amount that these guys are pushing here at the moment. They are flogging it around this mountain here, down through the S's, into the dipper, out the other side we go with Ryan J. Ferber in that Mustang. Ever ominous is this man. Had a shocker last week, and he's on the bounce and the recharge. I can give you that, Mayo. And then we've got this man here who has got a very, very supportive member in the chat always here. He's Brendan Ortner. And he's amongst many of these fans here along on and off the track here of Sensational TV, and a good driver too. He's the old arsehole. So he's going to be ringing it around here for the mid-pack tonight, 2029. Should be interesting as he makes his way up the racetrack. We're going to go on board with him because, bugger it, we've got 2 minutes to go. And we'll see those lap times tumble here for the rest of them. We're climbing up Mountain Straight, cresting over the top of the mountain, and then you get into that dipper. You brake very, very late here. You brake at about 70 metres, fang it in, get the car right inside that curbage and fire it out the other side and hope to God that your Porsche sticks there and doesn't try to kill you on the entrance. Then coming in here into the cutting. This is a lovely little bit of racetrack. Up through the gears we go as we climb the hill, get on the power early, out the other side, bit of a lift on throttle there over the bump, then up again we go through this section, which is a tight circuit section. It is literally just millimetres from the outside wall in full commitment through the grate. This is a great little section as well. Nearly scraped the wall on the outside. Full commitment through here. Bang it over the rise. Out the other side. Now we're coming over into Brock Skyline here. And then it is just down through the S's here. This is a full commitment style. You need to be absolutely on song for every single minute in a GT3 car. Boy, oh boy, will they bite if you sing it out the other side. There goes the dipper. Now we're coming into the chase. The infamous place right there was an absolute massive shunt there in the Bathurst 12 hour. But out this side, he comes right now into Conrad. Does Mr. Ornay. He's straight down here, 4th gear now, flips it up to 5th. Then it's going to be a long haul between now and the chase. Comes out the other side. Lovely, lovely stuff. He's right on the limit here. You can just tell by the way he's driving. He's banging this thing around. He's approaching the top speed here of the Porsche. It's just singing on to the final rev bangers. Then he's going to think about braking right here. He goes straight into 3rd gear, down to 2nd if he wants to. No, sticks it in 3rd. Out the other side here. Now it's a very, very tight and dancing line as you cross the final turn into the end of Mount Panorama and Bathurst Circuit. It's arse-clenching stuff, and I'm telling you here, the old arsehole in Brenton Ortner needs to get on the gallop because he's lost a couple of positions in that time and gets himself up into 14th. That's how much he was pushing.
Yeah, 2:02.8 there. So you can imagine what the guys at the front faced with out their front windscreen as well. Just absolutely pushing it to the nth degree. And in that time, we've had Ty Seville actually overtake Ryan Hunter. 4P1 here for pole position. A 2-minute dead. 6.82 is the difference there. Only a 10th, not even a 10th, actually just a little bit over a 10th, sorry, to Ryan Hunter there in 2nd position, and a little gap back to this man here, Ferber, who's pulling it into the pits. He's not going to improve. Who else is out there on a lap at the moment? 15th, that is Josh Bennett, but he has pulled it up there as well, so he is not moving any further. Bradley Cairns coming up behind him in the lonely Lamborghini. Cheeching it out. Big Ben Chen's getting around Melbourne City in a Lamborghini just recently as well. If you follow that man on Instagram, it's good stuff. He goes through up into 15th position at 2:02.812 as well. And who is left? 10th is about to cross the line. That's Garth Duffy. Let's see what he can put in this time. It does improve slightly, but only one position up into P9. Then we got 22 of Dave Oliver, who's been pretty quick this entire season. So maybe just a little bit less in the practice zone around Mount Panorama. He'll cross the line now for an improvement at 2:03.3, but only as good as 19th position for the young jockey.
Yeah, he'll be galloping his way around here in car and outside. I can tell you that one. There's going to be some incidents tonight here. There's going to be some casualties. We've still got some guys driving around here at the moment. This is Kyle Douglas too. He's had a pretty good lap in his own standard. He's only got 2 sectors out of 6 down on his personal best. The other 3 are up. Can he be held up here by that car circulating around? I don't think so. It's just going to push it to the nth degree, and he gets dancy on the outside too. But what does Kyle Douglas do as he crosses the line? It is not an improvement for him, and he's just got collected as he goes over the line. And that is his qualifying done, one and run. Who else we got out there? This one right here is Ortner. He's going for another lap. He's up, and he's got into 13th as well. So happy days for the arsehole. He's come straight through into 13th. Maybe an unlucky number, but is his luck be on the racetrack tonight and the circuit? This is this is Oliver again. Yeah. He got around quickly, Chriso.
Yeah, he's going around for one more. He's not going to get around in time, so possibly just getting those last little bits of practice in. And how good is that sound, ladies and gentlemen? If I could get some reverb and delay on that, I'd be just in my absolute element. Ladies and gentlemen, obviously just a can of cordial being opened up there in the back.
Coke, mate.
Can of Coca-Cola. Shout out to our hopeful sponsors, COLA Cola. Get on the Instagram and shout us out. Let's have some Coke money coming our way.
No, that'd be good. We're on 2-minute noodles here at the moment, just stretching our old budgetary limits here, and that's probably why we are a little bit feisty here in the commentary box. We're getting hangry tonight. If any incidents happen, boy oh boy, they might be in for a good old pasting Clag style. Nothing sticks to that anyway. They'll brush it off and keep going.
Just eat it.
They'd probably just eat it too if you're a 5-year-old. But that is it. There's Oliver. He's gone back to the pits. That's qualifying officially done, one and run. And boy, oh boy, is that a quick time there. Ty Saville, either 2-minute 6:82. That is rip snorting around here. And we've got a warm-up of 5 minutes here. between now and
that
the
right?
race session. Yes, we do, in fact. And that is unknown to us. We've just found out about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. You can even go back and listen to the Ray Rabs Warren for a good 2,500-3,000 minutes that he kept rambling on for the intro while you're bored here for the warm-up, because we'll be back after a couple of words from our sponsors here at Sensational TV for the 90-minute coming your way. Season finale. Don't go anywhere.
Motto is that safe drivers are lifesavers. If your organisation shares this belief and are planning to improve driver education in your community, SDT Simulator Driver Training has the solution. Many of our simulator users are also gaining a revenue stream by taking their simulators to events and schools for driver education programs. The system can also be set up to run motorsport simulation. Many leading racing drivers are now using simulators to improve their skills. Such software can also be used to show drivers they are not as skilled as they think they are. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features and customisation for driver training. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Contact Simulator Driver Training for more information.
Motorsport isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And when performance matters, you need gear you can trust. That's where ARD Importing comes in. ARD Importing brings world-class racing brands straight to New Zealand, supplying real racers, real teams and real enthusiasts with proven performance products around the globe. We're talking JRP racing components, ZAMP helmets and safety gear you can rely on the track, Red Cat Racing for high-performance RC action and intimate brake pads for serious stopping power when it counts most. Keep your engine protected with renewable lubricants, premium oils designed for extreme performance and durability. Turn up the volume with wicked audio, delivering powerful sound whenever the road or track takes you. And gear up with Spartan products built for durability, comfort and race day durability. Whether you're racing dirt, asphalt or chasing lap times from home, ARD Importing has you covered. Sim racers as well, listen up, ladies and gentlemen, because ARD New Zealand is your importing source for all of Camus Racing sim gear. Precision wheels, professional grade pedals, immersive feedback that puts you right in the driver's seat. Train harder, race smarter, and feel every corner. From real-world racing to the virtual grid, ardimporting.co.New Zealand connects you with elite brands trusted by racers worldwide.
And expertise in getting the best gear. Sensational TV has proudly partnered up with Speed Nation. It is New Zealand's go-to destination for high-performance sim gear. They also stock the best and biggest brands in the game, from Thrustmaster, Mozo Racing, Next Level Racing, Sparko, Turtle Beach and more. And whether you're looking for the ultra-responsive racing wheels or pro-grade flight controls, immersive audio, or rock-solid cockpits, I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has got it all. They also carry other trusted names like Butt Kicker, PT Actuators, Wheel Stand Pros, Gen Ace, Spectrum in the remote control field, and also Collective Mind. So every step and part of your setup is covered. From complete racing rigs and premium flight packs. We here at Sensational TV, back in Speed Nation.
Sensational TV YouTube channel.
We're not ready for Kappa yet, ladies and gentlemen. We've just begun. So let's check.
Caps.
The big whiz is he's a bit keen. This guy. Let's get into the grid. I'm about to sneeze, so Zach O'Reilly, take that over.
Ty Saville and Ryan Hunter will share the front row here for the season finale as Crusoe sneezes his ass off in the background. Ryan J. Ferber and Parkinson off the second row. Cullen Smith share the third. Marshall and Parker share the fourth, with the fifth row going to Duffy and Christian. Then it's going to be from 10th onwards. It's Jamie Patterson and DeBetter off the 6th row. And it's very, very tight here between these times. Orton to right, Cairns Bennett 16th, respectively. 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th goes to Munro Merchant, Oliver Chambers. Then 21st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is Rogers, Justice. Sabdoritas, the British Pig, in 24th. And then it still keeps going, ladies and gentlemen. To Sonia, Douglas, Toomer, Williams, Sykesy, Freeman, Abzura, Hines, Graham Hines, is that a Benny Hines relative?
Maybe.
And Advocat there as well. We're off and racing already. Boy, oh boy. Geez Louise, that was quick there. There's cars that have not made the field, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
The grid, that is dead set upsetting for them all, Crusoe. They're going through into Hull Corner and out the other side up down the straight.
Yeah, absolute cortisol napping there, and possibly a few others who did not see that the grid was forming and they've been left behind. But it's Tysonville that leads. We've got Ryan Hunter right hot on his heels as well. You can see the Mustangs just lining up behind him there with Ryan Ferber. Joseph Parkinson keeping him honest, with Dan Smith just lurking there in the gap. He's in a little bit of no man's land at the moment. Sam Cullen has made his way into the field in the Aston Martin there as well. Good to see a little bit of Aston Martin coverage. Then we've got Kobe Marshall sitting there in 7th position with Garth Duffy just behind him. Then we got Cicciolino in 9th position. He's up one off the start. Jake DeBetter's up 2, and he's just behind him in the 666 Mustang. DeBetter Electrical too. Fantastic little bit of coverage there for him. The arsehole Brendan Ortner there in 11th position with Dean Wright covering him off just slightly, but up the front these guys are very close indeed, coming down the dipper for the first time, and it's on cold tyres. You really want to be just tiptoeing your way through here. You don't want to feed it in too hard and end up being that guy's perpendicular to the track, and you've got 30 odd friggin' GT3 cars coming at you at a rate of knots. You'll be just an absolute plug in the bottle, but it looks like everyone's got through fairly nice and easy. Here he is, Chris Sabdoritas, back in Mr. Sparkle livery. It's been a long time since we've seen a Mr. Sparkle, and he's out there now fanging it down the Conrod Straight, is what I believe it's called, ladies and gentlemen. Someone shoot me. Jesus Christ, that is sacrilege stuff. But Bradley Cairns, though, he's got his hands full because Josh Bennett is right up his clacker here. Might even think about a send-up into the chase. He does. Cairns gives him enough room, but now they go side by side, wheel to wheel. A little bit of paint traded there as well. Down into Hell Corner. Cairns is probably just going to cover him off here. He doesn't. Leaves the door open. This could be another overtake coming up. He just left it there for him. The Mustang behind gave the Porsche a little bit of a hurry-up too, and they're still going to go side by side, Zach O'Reilly, after the first lap.
Oh, this battling is as hot as Ronda on the sunrise, ladies and gentlemen. That is unbelievable stuff there. Matt Munro sent a punch to back end of Josh Bennett's car as well, just as he was trying to navigate as well into the final corner and out the other side too. So he's looking pretty racy here, and on board with him now. You can just see which way he's trying to think about going. Will he feign right? He feign to the right, and then look at that. Just about nose clipping the rear bumper of that Porsche, and up the inside he goes, heavy on the brakes, and that Mustang's just with that braking ability sends it out the other side. Luckily he didn't get pulled up over that curb too with the power down. Traction control would have kicked in then, and his arsehole would have pucked it there too, Matt Munro. But he's in the 14th, and he's climbing back up the mountain to get out of the chase. This is a good battle here too. Tuma, oh my goodness me, he's come flying through the field here. He's up 3 spots on debut. He's got Brittingham in front of him now. He's trying to navigate his way around this track very nicely indeed. But an Audi on the circuit, ladies and gentlemen, the first one we've seen all goddamn season, and this man just decides to plonk himself in the series final round and go racing.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, I do remember an OnlyFans liveried Audi at the start at the Nürburgring. Who was piloting that?
That was Fallon.
Luke Fallon, that's right, and sent it into the kitty litter and was not seen again. So it is good to have an Audi back out there on the circuit. It's good to have a little bit more variety out there as well. Here's one that we haven't seen, is an Aston Martin, the new GT3 car in the iRacing platform, and no one's given it any love this season at all. It's the one that I own, and it's one that Zach O'Reilly owns as well. So keep an eye out for the sensational Aston Martin at a special event coming to you.
Coming to you, and it'll be very, very close, if not on the front row. Don't you worry about that. Here goes Ryan J. Ferber under attack here from one Dan Smith, who's just feinted to the inside, and he's got the job done. Shane Van Gisbergen style on Ryan J. Ferber, and he's absolutely sent it out the other side as Ferber just disappears off the screen and back on again. But it's a hit on like Donkey Kong here, because Dan Smith now needs to half cover. He just goes onto the racing line. Ferber hasn't got the braking ability into the Hell corner, and up the other end we go. Is this Mustang going to be able to climb onto the back end of this very, very slippery and pacey Corvette of Dan Smith's? It's looking ominous here at the moment. The slipstream's just about to kick in. They're about to start going on here, and is it going to be up the inside? No, it's not. He ups out. There's Ryan J. Ferber. Dan Smith survives, but he's got to be careful, because right behind him he's got Cullen and Kobe Marshall here for an angry bit of racing. Up the mountain we go. It's incredible to see how these cars behave. 3 different drivers, 3 different driving styles, 3 different manufacturers, and look at this, 3 wide. Oh, nearly collision and more collision too. You are absolutely kidding me here. How did they come out of that surviving? I don't know. Douglas Chambers and Sab Doritas were all involved in that, and they've somehow managed to do it. 3 Porsches nearly created a $4 billion pile up there, and somehow they're unscathed, unclean. But look at the pace here from Douglas. He's just trying to center punch the back end of Sab Doritas' Porsche. Halfway up the mountain they go. No overtaking up here. It's going to take a brave man, and I think, if anything, the bravest with the ambition versus talent wearing sort of style here is going to come at some point between these 3. Someone's going to have a crack over the top into Skyline, I reckon, here, Chris.
Well, that's right. And, they've got to... Oh, there's something happening here to Luke Williams. He's gone off the circuit there, McPhillamy. Really hard to get that back on in that kind of pace. You are absolutely on the limit. He's gone off straight into the kitty litter and somehow only lost 1 position, kept the car straight, did not bend it in one way. Unbelievable stuff. Most people find themselves in that situation and they would be absolutely heading straight for that outside wall. But look at what's going on up in front there. We've got Merchant and Mr. Sparkle there going toe-to-toe here. Sparkle all over the back of the Merc here, going down into the braking zone, the heavy braking zone here of the chase. But the Merc just out-braking him here for the time being, cutting the nose off too. And, sending a little bit of a message to the Porsche behind saying, you want to poke your nose up, mate? We're both getting taken out, because I will take that Apex every day of the week.
I don't know how Dan Badger got through there. He came in at about like a Formula 1 car into that thing and actually found that the thing has turned. Oh, no, in the background, there goes Kyle Douglas. He's fanging it around. He's facing the wrong way onto the front straightaway. That is disaster for the big man. And, geez Louise, he had to be careful with that. He's got plenty of time there just to get out of the way. We'll have to see what the replay says, if there was any contact between them later on. But the arsehole is climbing back through the field. He's just getting closer and closer here to DeBetta now. He's cleared the man behind him in Dean Wright, and he's just gone, you know what, bugger it. I'm going to try and fang my way through here and catch that Mustang. And nearly got centre punched there as well by Righto Horse, who is an admin here as well at Aussie Sim Racing. And he's just taking no prisoners here tonight, just like he does in the Discord. Tells people where to go, says them they're assholes, calls them pricks, says you're a dumb C. And he's just doing that on the racetrack here as well, and his best impossible impression of that. He's a C on the track and he's a C off the track, Chriso.
Well, yeah, I won't say that about the man.
I mean cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool, calm, collected. The triple C trifecta there of coolness there. We'll leave that one. But Righty is right up the arse of these two. And I tell you what, if DeBetta and Ortner do start to battle it out, it's going to bring Big Righty into it. And then he can start throwing the C-bombs out left, right and centre, because he'll be looking to take the C, the corner, before the other two. But I'll tell you what, Ortner now right on the back of DeBetta. We can ride on board with him and see just how the suck down the Bathurst Straight is faring. And look at that, very big indeed. The tiny little Porsche underneath the rear wing there of the Mustang goes up alongside into the chase now, and they're going to go side by side. It's a matter of who can get the traction down. And surprise, surprise, it's the Mustang, and in a big way too. Actually, the snap-on Porsche there of Ortner just bogging down, and now he's under attack from Dean Wright. They're going to go side by side. Ortner still has the advantage of the inside, but he looks a little bit sheepish here at the moment. He's under big pressure, big time, and does Wright think about sending it up the inside at turn one. It's always a bit of a decision to make at this circuit, because you may as well, like if you do get the overtake done into turn one, you leave yourself way vulnerable with a compromised exit all the way up the hill. So it's best to maybe just stick in underneath the rear wing and try into turn two. But it looks like Ortner's got a pretty good exit out of turn one, and he will lead this little pack up into turn two.
Yeah, very nice stuff indeed. He's just keeping it clean now and just making sure that he can manage his position, because he knows he's got the pace overall on to better. It does Mr. Ortner in front. Dean Wright also can do his best impersonation of Dan Smith on a couple of laps too. So keep an eye out on that battle. Look at this one. Here comes old Jamie Patterson. Shocking start from him. He missed the. He got to be missing the grid, because he's not usually down in 23rd position, and climbing his way through the field just gets rid of Sykes and says, "Yep, I'm going up the mountain once again," and he'll be on. Watch the timing tower for that too. It's on between Ortner again and DeBetta, because DeBetta is right here on his gearbox, is the man of Ortner, and it's just starting to get a little bit spicy. Wright is starting to hit his rhythm. DeBetta's trying to push as hard as he can, but he's looking backwards at every second corner, I reckon, here, and psyching himself out of a potential getaway opportunity. Clear track in front of him, so he's got every opportunity to do so. Nearly an oversteer moment there for Dean Wright, for Ortner there as well on the exit, crossed elbow. But I think at the moment it's getting ever closer. It's 0.3 of a second. It's 0.2 of a second now between Ortner and DeBetta. That is looking pretty racy. What is Dean Wright going to be seeing here? Is he going to be seeing carnage, or is this man going to be first hand to the carnage? Here comes Ortner. He'll fling it down the inside here and just completely outbrake DeBetta there for now. But it's 2x2 through the chase. It's out the other side, and it's another scenario where that Mustang gallops away. But they nearly dangle. Oh my goodness! Here comes Dean Wright, 3 wide. Oh, this is incredible stuff. Now we're getting into the braking zone, and it is DeBetta who pulls out, just like he's done millions of times in real life, does DeBetta, and he's come through with the goods, because he's coming back for a switchback here, gives the old punterino to the rear arse end of Dean Wright, and just says, you know what, bugger it, I'll go around the outside into hell corner as well, put the power down. You can't get the job done, and Ortner's just sitting there like an absolute meat in a sandwich situation, watching the world go by, and entering the chat in the foreground there at the bottom of your screen is one Matt Munro, and Ortner now is under all sorts.
Oh, he sure is. And look at this, just going half defensive up there into turn two. The two Mustangs lining up behind. Jake DeBetta just getting his pants pulled down there at the bottom of the hill at the end of Conrod, straight into the chase. And the two Porsches that are really good under brakes have just made that happen there. And now it's time for the two horsepower machines of DeBetta and Matt Munro to come through. Here's a big mistake there from Ortner. That'll let both of them through. He must have slapped the wall there as well, but he's going backwards at a rate of knots. It looks like he's under pressure now. Bradley Cairns right up under the rear wing. You can see here riding on board in the Hurricane GT3 car, Brendan Ortner. You can see he hasn't been in his rhythm over these last couple of laps in that sandwich, that big battle that's been happening between him and the other guys around him. Just got a little bit too much for him there through the cutting, and those guys have been released. But now it's with so many cars out there on the circuit, you can't afford to blink for too long, because there'll be another one up your ass keeping you honest, that is for sure. And now look, it's Cairns and Josh Bennett joining the scene as well. This could be a dead set 6-car battle here in no time.
It could be, and I gave old Kenzo the rev up at Barcelona. I can't believe I said it, and he just replied to me saying challenge on. So I think I've ensured some encouragement into the big man, and that's why he's close to this back for the top 10 battle here at the moment. But look at Matt Munro go. He's got past Ortner there because he made a mistake. Now he's hunting down the back end here. If the better has gone left, he's gone right. This is looking ominous here, but he finds himself back single file and comes out the other side. Lovely, lovely stuff indeed. Oh, no, there he goes. He's around. See you later. Tin top style pirouettes, mate. It's not summer nats. We're trying to race here. Don't start tipping it in there left, right, and centre. And unfortunately, Matt Munro has just smashed the rear wing off the car as well, insult to injury, and he will be absolutely shaking his ass like a Miami Mamacita, because that thing has got no downforce on it throughout the whole rest of the lap, and a long way to the pits here for poor old Matt Munro.
Yeah, only 12 minutes in. That means if you're going to come in and go for a pit stop, a one-stop strategy, you've still got another half an hour at least out there with the deleted rear wing. He's going to find it very tough indeed. Here comes Rogers now to take advantage of a slow-moving Mustang, and he just gives him a clear berth there as well. I think Matty just probably has to come into the pits, get that damage fixed, and try to claw back whatever kind of dignity he can find out there as well. The Mustang looks pretty good without a rear wing, I must admit, but certainly not fast around the circuit.
No, he's written it off.
Yeah, he has. There he goes into the outside wall as well. British Pig, Rogers and Toomer, Patterson all going up the inside there as well. Matt Munro, he's just absolutely compounding injuries here, ladies and gentlemen. Playing a bit of pinball across the top of the mountain. That car is not in good shape. Let's ride on board and see where that steering wheel's pointed. Yeah, that's it. He's had enough, ladies and gentlemen. Only took a few hits to the bumper, and that was it for him. But it's Jeff Toomer up 6 positions. So Jeff Sixma at the moment is giving Brittingham and Patterson a bit of a run for their money.
Yeah, he's given a good old hustle here. Now, this is Patterson. He's just starting to get onto the back end of Toomer again, so it's looking pretty racy for his Porsche, and he'll be climbing his way through the field. I reckon he's going to be in the top 10 by the end of this 90-minute session. We're 14 minutes into a race, and so much has happened already here, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a trend now that we're going to hope to see for the rest of the event here tonight. And look at that, just slipstream side drafting his way down Conrod Straight. And he's going to get that job done very, very easily indeed. There's Patterson flings it into the chase out the other side. Heavy braking zone now. And it's just monkey see, monkey do stuff for him. He knows what he's doing. He'll come back at it. Here it is a little bit feisty here now for Douglas too, because he's got right in front of him with Freeman. And then it's Sykesy as well. Sykes is a hard man to pass in that BMW. Douglas is going to have his work cut out for him here. Can he get the job done? Coming down the hill into the final quarter of Bathurst. No, he can't. He's just going to feign the old left-hand, right-hand manoeuvre. Just try to dummy your car out of that position and send it defensive style, but he can't. Out the other side goes that Porsche, and he races on again. It's close at the top again, though. Holy mackerel. Ryan Hunter and Ty Saville are only separated by 0.4 of a second now. It's been zigzagging between 8 and 9 and then 0.3 of a second throughout this whole one. This BMW looks planted around here, Chriso. It's very, very ominous too, because that Mustang just doesn't seem as OP as it usually does at some tracks. Bathurst here suiting this BMW, and one of Lindsay Muddle's favourite drivers, I've been told.
Well, he's got quite a few to add to the list. He really does take a shining to some of these guys that have got a lot of pace. But tell you what, these guys doing comfortably in the 2-minute deads as well. So they have just gapped Parkinson here 4.5 seconds down the road, and then another 2.5 to Dan Smith. So these two guys locked in a tight little time battle here as well. One false move and it will be an absolute proper battle for the ages. The gap now hovering around that 3/10 mark. You can see Hunter just showing the nose there too, keeping Saville in his thoughts, or keeping himself in Saville's thoughts as well. But I tell you what, Saville will just be looking like straight out the front window here, just trying to make sure every single inch of this track is used, and he's inch perfect on where he turns in, where he gets on the throttle and brake pedal. Because these two guys are in robot mode here at the moment, just absolutely churning out lap times. 2 minutes dead, 0.622 last time around for Ryan Hunter, and probably pretty much the same for Saville. Yeah, 2 minute dead, 7.52. So those guys absolutely flying out in front.
Yeah, definitely, and they love single lapping themselves. Oh my goodness, that was so close. I thought that was a massive move there. Was that Oliver on DeBetter? It was Bennett on DeBetter. That was a 1.5 down the inside. It looked like it, but geez Louise, that caught my attention really quick. But look at Cairns up in front. He's looking pretty racy here, and this is a replay of what happened, because Ortner was there trying to go for the move on DeBetter, gets the job done out the other side. Here comes Bradley Cairns entering the chat. He goes straight past DeBetter too. This is a great little tussle, and then we've got Wright in the background as well. 3x3 nearly into turn 1. There goes right up the inside. He does get past DeBetter. I thought I saw that correctly. Sends it up the inside. DeBetter's got nothing worrying himself in the old defence department. He's playing the long game, and these boys are all racing onwards like it's lap 1, turn 1, and here at Bathurst with only a 5-minute session around the mountain. Unbelievable stuff here. Scenes at Bathurst, ladies and gentlemen, for these three, and it's all over that P10 position.
It's lost 3 positions in one corner, or 2 corners, did Jake DeBetta. So he's all it took was one little mistake, and all 3 of those guys were very keen to get the nose up in there on the inside there. But at the front, it is Ortner who is just starting to kick clear. He's got rid of the spider webs, the cobwebs out of that Porsche, and he's starting to stretch the legs and stretch the gap too to Bradley Cairns there in 11th position. 6/10 is a difference to them, with Josh Bennett there as well, about the same. And poor old DeBetta just sort of dropping off the back, so maybe he just used up a bit too much tyre in that opening stanza where he was tight in a battle with these guys earlier on and holding station in front of them. And maybe those GT3 tyres just having a little bit of a heat cycle here, a little bit too hot under the collar. And now he's just taking the foot off the pedal just to try to cool him down a little bit, regather his thoughts, and launch another attack on the 3 boys that pulled his pants down the other lap.
He should do, and just settle himself back in, ladies and gentlemen, because if you know what it takes to be a sim racing driver out here, it's all about rhythm and flow, and that is what DeBetta here is just wanting to get himself into. Watch these guys out in front, spread some carnage, and he just skips back through to where he rightly should be. This is the first man to blink into the pit lanes. Luke Williams comes in the Pennzoil Mustang, and he's called it a very, very early pit stop for that. Only 20 minutes in. He's still got 70 to go, and he's not there. Look at Justice, though. He's got the Gavril out tonight, ladies and gentlemen, back with a vengeance. We haven't seen him for a while. He's been out and about on the town, letting loose, catching criminals left, right, and centre, and he's just absolutely pulled the pants down, served a life sentence to Freeman there in front of him and send it up the mountain straight. But he's going to have to be careful here because the parole board has said, you know what, I don't think about that sentence. I think it's a little bit lenient here. And I think they're going to come back at him. And here comes Freeman. He's looking again. He's so close. Will he go for a move? He doesn't. But the man behind Will, Kyle Douglas, does. He's not afraid of a send up the inside and says, thank you, mother, for the rabbits. P23, I'll have. And he's up from 26 now. Great stuff. And the lead has changed, ladies and gentlemen, as we just missed that. Hunter and Saville have traded places, and Hunter now leads this one. This is incredible stuff. This is how we got it done. Down Conrad Straight we go into the chase. Just pretty ominous there. And I think, oh, look at that. That is just an absolute lead pass. If these guys are not teammates, I'll give you the top tip. I'll eat me shoe, because that is 100% team orders there, Ferrari style. Fernando is faster than you. Fernando is faster than you. And that is just exactly what they do. They don't need to do it, but so to speak, if that's what gets them going racing and makes it happy and fun for them, they might as well just keep pushing on and bridge that gap to Parkinson, 5.7 seconds away from the threat of these two.
Yeah, Saville maybe doing a bit of fuel saving now into the slipstream. If you can sit underneath that rear wing, you can kind of feather the throttle down the straight and hold your gap without making a move on the car in front, and maybe just saving a little bit of fuel over the next, we got hour and 10 minutes to go. So possibly some strategy coming into play, possibly just those two sitting in a group chat or whatever it is, a voice chat, and saying, look, I've got the pace over you, my old son, and let me have a go. And Saville says, yeah, why not? I'll have a crack. Geez, that was close, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know which one of them did, but certainly one of those guys just made contact with the outside wall there through what is it? What's that turn called? Geez, it's just absolutely besotted me there. I've got no idea which one it is.
Griffins?
No, it's not Griffins.
That's the wrong one.
No. It's gone, ladies and
We're
gentlemen.
done.
In the chat, help me out. It's pretty much balls to the wall in these GT3 cars too. Flat out that right hander as you come under the tree there, out of the cutting.
Yeah, it was Griffin's Bend.
No,
it was
Griffin's is turn
Bend
two.
Reed Park. No, Griffin's Mount is turn 5 and 6.
Mount, maybe the Mount.
Reed Park, Griffins. Yeah. Anyway, it was that man on screen, Ty Saville, who did slap the wall there, and he got it done. Now we're just getting the old one finger wave there from this man, Rash Rogers. He was in 20th a couple of laps ago, and look at him fighting through the field. He's looking pretty racy here. He's on the back end of the old Effin Chambers here. He's not been effing quick at all since that race. We called him Effin Chambers. So he's just got to get the gallop on for next season, does Effin Chambers. But Ash Rogers and Betty White as a team do not give a rat's toss back. What's happened here to Tuma? Look at that. That's just a switcherino out the other side. Oh, I thought he was going to loop it there on exit.
That's it.
Comes out the other side. That was it. Happy days for him. 21st position, up 6 places on debut. Not too bad for him. Here comes Rogers, though. Evan Chambers has made a mare out of Forest Elbow, and it's just a simple drag race down Conrod again. Side by side, there won't be any argy-bargy here, and he's flashing the wheels lights as well. He's happy about that. He knows he's on stream, ladies and gentlemen, and he's just saying, yep, I'm that good. I'm going to flash my headlights. It's still not over, though, because I think, Evan Chambers was about to F it up into the chase, and he's gone again straight up the inside. The old switchback's on, and I'll tell you what, Ash Rogers won't be happy about that. He'll be trying to go for a last-minute dive into Murray's corner. Look at the switchback as well. Look at him go. It's full aggression. He can't do that too long because it's just inviting Patterson into the lead here as well for this little battle too. So if they keep fighting like this, it's going to be a three-way tussle. Look at now. We've got Rogers going for it. He's got on the inside. It's going to be whole corner move. Can he get the job done? No, he gets the nose chopped off there and swung around the outside again. Was Rogers. And, geez Louise, they got checked up. And here comes Patterson. He's gone for it. He's got the cleanest run up the hill. Now he's going to get blocked off as well, I reckon, there from Evan Chambers. He doesn't care about any positions. He just wants to defend his spot. This is going to be a trailer park girl move. Don't tell me. Around the outside, into Quarry we go. No, he doesn't. But Rogers is trying to send it up there. That's too ambitious there. Squiggly on the exit there for Patterson. Here comes Rogers. He's trying to go for it. Now we're into the not overtaking section of Bathurst, for crying out loud. If they try it up here, they've got more balls than I have and Chris put together. But geez Louise, it's spicy there, and Chambers slaps the wall. Oh, my goodness me. Griffin's Mount coming our way.
Yeah, that's right. Look at that, Patterson. Nice move on Betty White. Oh, Betty just getting a little bit loose there as well through that section. So she drops off the back, and now it's Evan Chambers holding court here with Patterson just absolutely flying here. He's still 6 positions down on his starting posse, because I'm pretty sure he was one of the cars that missed the grid call and had to start from the pit lane. So he's on the absolute charge here today. And while he gets that overtake done, or at least sets it up here for now, he's absolutely flying, and Chambers is going to have to throw the kitchen sink at him to keep him behind. We'll get to a few of these comments. We've got Ortner saying clean so far. Yeah, it's been great. Seeing he will fight back, and he has done. That was when Ortner made a massive mistake. But here we go, side by side. Look at the overspeed there from Patterson. He's just going to go straight around the outside before we even get to the kink and into the braking zone. Says thank you very much. Oh, a little getting a little bit close for comfort there. But I don't think Chambers was really in the mood for putting up that much of a fight. He says, I tell you what, I've seen you coming from a long way back on my relative, and I'm just going to let you go through there, my old son. I'm going to try and stick with you in the old suck department. I'm trying to suck me way up the straight. But Broads 18 says hi, guys. So hi to you, mate, and hi to the other 40-odd customers watching as well. Viewers, ladies and gentlemen. Not customers until you get involved in the Patreon, but that link's in the description below.
Send some dollars down if you feel like we're worth it, ladies and gentlemen, into our Patreon. And also, if you want a super chat, you can do as well there too. But nonetheless, enough of the grifting commentary. Here goes Ryan J. Ferber. Dan Smith is on the back foot tonight. Not the dominant performance that he's used to. Sitting in 4th place, and Ferber's been within that 2 or 3 tenths for the last couple of laps, and it's just a drag race now, and these guys have been locking horns for the whole race. It's literally been a battle, and Ferber has not been able to get past him. He's got the suck here down Mount Panorama's Conrod Straight, but he's not going to be able to be close enough here for a send if Dan Smith covers him off. He's gone for the outside, and oh my goodness me, just eat my words there like a $2 salad there at lunchtime, and he's gone straight around the outside. Beautiful stuff there from Ryan Ferber, and just sends it on Dan Smith. He's got no confidence in that car tonight. He's usually a man that just flops his forearm out on the table on a first date and says, that's how big I am, don't you worry about it. But tonight he's just tucked the balls between the legs, and he's gone down to 5th there. Unfamiliar territory for Dan Smith, but I think, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of the outcome here, he probably will be the champion tonight. Nonetheless, if he just keeps on the track and finishes. Have a look at this, though. Oh, what's happened to Freeman here? Don't tell me he's just pirouetted that car around into the final corner at Murray's. Yes, he has indeed. And see you later. Slaps the Repco wall there on the front bumper. Probably the best place to do it on a Porsche, mind you. And he'll just try to flick spin it around. and get back racing. And this battle is on again between Rogers and effing Chambers.
Yeah, it looks like Chambers has come a gutsy here as well. Oh, very close, but only just a little nudge on the wall there too. Losing a couple of positions and more too. He needs to get that thing moving. Maybe he stalled it. Looking for that engine start button here. He needs to get it going, otherwise he's going to just keep dropping down through the order. 22nd position is where he's at the moment. So, wow, down 2 on his overall, but he was up a fair way before that little tangle up with the wall. So he'll be back on his bike. We've only just come up to third race distance. We've still got another couple of minutes before that milestone hits, and we've still got a few little battles starting to heat up. We got Dean Wright, Darren Justice now serving out some look how fast he's made up that gap here. He might even be close enough to just send it up into Griffin's here. He's not quite this time, but I tell you what, Righty giving him plenty of room and does not want to bar of the battle. He says, yeah, through you go, Justice. I don't really want to be in the jury for this one, and through he goes. But up here we had a swap for positions as well. Sam Cullen getting past Kobe Marshall. We'll get an instant replay here from Sensational TV to see how that happened. It looks as if it's a fairly regulation pass down into the chase. That Aston Martin firing on all 8 cylinders. Down through the kink he goes. Gets the job done before they even get there. So a really nice exit obviously there from Sam Cullen. Super capable in a V8 supercar. I've not seen him around in the GT3s this season, but certainly doing a pretty good job out there for his first go.
Makes me feel good, Chris, about our purchase on the old Aston Martin. That's for sure. A man of his calibre just getting his way through the field and nicely. Look how far he skipped away. What did happen, though, to Dean Wright? He was way up there. He was fighting over 10th, 9th and 8th, basically. And he just fell down the pack here like a sack of spuds. Oh, he did hit the pits, did he?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what explains that. I missed that. Marshall is in the pits, speaking of which, and nearly a slaps wall outside there for Sam Cullen too. Dave Marshall in the chat there as well from earlier. The dog's going to have to wait a long time here because Kobe is racing onwards here, and he hasn't DNF'd. The VR hasn't stuffed up. So he is right on here for a long old night. This dog just sitting at the door looking at him with puppy eyes, and you can give him the old Tijuana. But back to the racing, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle Douglas here on the prowl. Once again on D Wright. He's got a big task in front of him because Wright is a speedy customer, as we said. He is a top 10 in the mixed pacey setting customer, but Douglas here is keeping him honest. This is what happens though when you start to just sit behind a quick guy in the same car, mind you. You just got to educate yourself as you go around the circuit. You go, well, look, you know, he's able to turn it in at 70 metres there on the braking zone. I might try the same thing. Oh my goodness, it works. Oh crikey. So then he's keeping everyone honest behind him, and that's exactly here what Cole Douglas is doing. Fangs it in nicely there, just right next to the curb on the outside. He's even got half a run here up the hill coming into the cutting. This is lovely stuff here from Douglas, a man who usually is just struggling to find pace and nearly slaps the wall there, just too tight on the exit out of that section, and up the hill we go again. But very good performance here from Douglas. He'll be happy with this driving performance, and it's educating him further onwards as we go through the race. The gaps are 0.5 of a second at the front between Hunter and Saville. Then it's 0.8 of a second between Smith and Ferber. Ferber's kicked away to him, and Oliver is starting to get a little bit closer to Dan Merchant. Kyle Douglas here is still hunting righto, and it's looking very, very nice here for Douglas. If he can just stay within suck distance, he ladies of the night style of Dean Wright, he could be finding his way through the field, just following him through, suit line astern. Yeah, plenty of cheap sucks to be had down there in Bathurst as well, from what I've been told, ladies and gentlemen. So if you can find one, you can get yourself up a couple of positions, if you know what I'm saying. But I'll be up first flight in the morning. I'll be up there. Don't you worry about that. I'll be up there. Yeah, she's going. Joking. What was that in the background? It sounded like a bloody parrot or something. I saw. Yeah, I opened my phone, and boy, oh boy, did the old TikTok open up there, and some parrot was going nuts calling someone an F&C. Well, believe it, the old Emily C-bombs are out. Sorry about that. I thought it was old Mrs. O'Reilly in the back saying, you will not be going to Bathurst for a cheap old sucko bucko. You'll be banned from that joint for forever. And, she treats me well, don't you worry about that. No need. Fantastic stuff. Back to the racing. It looks as if Justice is now just giving up a little bit of the ghost to Dean Wright, who has made up that gap, left Kyle Douglas in the dust, and now it's Porsche on Porsche. There is a
absolute shitload of Porsches out there tonight. Let's count them all, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3,
9,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Porsches started this race. A couple of them have called it quits. Is this guy still going around? Oh, he is. There you go. In the old... what's that team called? I love the livery. I've forgotten the racing team, but it's a beautiful Porsche livery there from real life. Darren Justice has got his hands full here with Dean Wright right up his clagger.
He's absolutely sprinted off from Kyle Douglas's Dean Wright, and now Justice is his next target on the circuit. Look at the push and commitment there from Wright. He slapped the outside wall there. That was lovely stuff indeed as they come over Skyline back through this section. Justice has been throwing out gavels all night here. He's up 4 places, started in 22nd, so a little bit of a dividend coming his way in terms of pace, but nothing to match Dean Wright. Look at the closing speed of the big man behind him. That green Porsche is just ominous. He's just got to set it up now. Out of Forest Elbow he goes, on the power, foot flat to the floor now. And this is a drag race. Now, it's going to be a suck train here. Goodness gracious of me. This is the Ladies of the Night special. He's just not far enough up at the moment, but he's got a very, very slippery Porsche at the moment compared to the rest of them. And he's just closing in and closing in. It's so close now. It's under a 10th of a second here. He's going to go for a send into the chase, surely, because Toomer's the next target on the road. He's gone for it. Wacko. See you later, Alligator. On the brakes. Very, very nicely pulled up there from Dean Wright. Gets 18th place, crawling his way back through the field from an early pit stop. Speaking of which, Cullen is out. He was in. British Pigs in. Cairns is in as well. So a couple of positions coming Dean Wright's way here while these other guys are stationary, Chriso.
Your pit lane starting to light up here at the moment as we just go past third race distance. So that would suggest, ladies and gentlemen, that you could either get an hour out of the fuel tank and tyres and or you can only get half an hour. So we'll see which one comes to fruition. But it looks as if, let's get the pit stop counter up here as well. It looks as if about half the field have now made a pit stop, and the top, most of them have not yet. So we'll keep an eye on, see how far those guys go through the race. I assume you can get more than 34 minutes out of a tank of fuel. So possibly these guys that have come through the pit lane have hit that magic number, and they're happy to just fill the tank and go to the very end. Possibly not needing tyres. An hour and a half, probably about right for a set of these GT3 tyres. They do last a fair while. This circuit isn't quite particularly demanding on tyres either, so they might be able to nurse them through and save themselves, I don't know, about 10, 15 seconds in the pit lane.
Yeah, it could be that way, and if they do so, it's the strategy that calls. Is it the undercut? Is it the overcut? Who knows? We'll find out very shortly. A couple of drivers came in very early. They came in within about 20 minutes of the race distance, so they've got to do the long haul at the back end of it. Ferber, Parkinson and Cicciolina are also in the pits. Now the arsehole's in there too. Look at that thing. It's as busy as the bloody M1 on a Sunday Arvo. Everyone trying to get back from the long weekend sort of style here. They're all up on jacks. They're sitting there like stunned ducks here at the moment. And it looks like here Kobe Marshall is on the prowl. He's got Sam Cullen in front of him. That was close, and he's going to run himself off the circuit there. He did that in the Gen 3s as well, did Kobe Marshall too. So it's an ominous place to chase there, braking zone wise. He's got to get that internet fixed. That's probably why his VR stuff's up 3/4 of the time, because the thing blinks in and out of existence. But Cullen has just skipped away. Look at that. Out he goes. See you later. And the pit lane is just starting to get even busier. The better Ortner, Patterson, Merchant, Oliver Rogers, all in there. Marshall's back up to where he was. He was an early pit stopper as well. So keep an eye on that. Cicciolina's just coming out of the pits now to fight for 8th place. There he is in the foreground. So he's entering this chat. His tyres have got to warm up, though, as the rest of the lap precedes him. But, geez Louise, in the fair dinkum department, this could be a absolute barnstorm of a battle if Kobe can hang on the back here and fight Cullen, bringing Cicciolina into it, who's not shy of a battle there. Yeah, that's right. We haven't called his name all race. He's had it pretty much in no man's land up there as well. So if he can chime onto the back of these two, he'd be quite chuffed indeed. And so would all the people at home, all the viewers, because we've seen Big Cheech in action before, and I tell you what, he leaves absolutely nothing on the table. So keep the expletives ready. Because anything could happen there with the human firework back there in Cicciolina. But here it is. It's Kobe Marshall on the screen right now. You can see him just leaving absolutely nothing on the table here. He's throwing that Ferrari around like it owes him money. It is dead set, using all the track and a little bit more. Off into the green, Bunda, off wherever he can get, find just a 10th here, 100th there. He's trying his best to stay on the back of Sam Cullen, who in turn looks to keep that thing in
relatively respectful manner. It looks nice and planted on rails. Does that Aston Martin in comparison to Kobe Marshall's Ferrari, which is looks, what would you say? It just looks absurd out there, just absolutely pushing it to the limit.
Yeah, it was just unbelievable. I didn't know the tyres had that much grip, but he found out that they did. If he can just keep the tyres in the temperature zone for the rest of the lap and calm down and then just send it through Skyline S's dipper style there, he'll be giving Sam Cullen a good right old fright in the rear vision mirror for sure. He's just a man on a mission here, is Kobe at the moment. Dan Smith's in the pits there too. So these boys are, well, he's in the pits, but he's just come out. So these boys were nearly about to undercut him big time, but he's come out already. So it's back to 11 seconds between Dan Smith and Sam Cullen. But it is a little bit now of a scenario where you think about the rest of the race. Fuel saving out there, I'm pretty sure it is 60 or 70% fuel of the tank is basically what that means, ladies and gentlemen. They've got 60 or 70% capacity of what the full tank usually does. You can reduce it. The Aussie sim racing community just decides on what it is per round. So you've got to be fuel saving. You've got to know when to push. You've got to know when you can and can't push those tyres, because you've got no idea when they start frying on you, unless your pit crew decides to tell you that. But it's race on here. Marshall 6/10 now off Cullen, who's just starting to skip away a little bit. Here's a replay. Oh, Dave Oliver, the jockey, has fallen off the horse, ladies and gentlemen. 58 collarbone breakages in one season, and that car is about as bent as Freddie and Elton John put together. I can give you the hot tip.
Fuck, look at that thing. Can't even travel straight. It actually looks like one of those equestrian horses that you see prancing in the diagonal fashion there in the old Olymp. Yeah, crabbing down the straight. If he can get this to the pit lane, I'll be very surprised. Look at that thing. That is a skill in itself to keep this thing straight. He's going to have some company soon enough with some cars coming down the mountain. So he's going to have to, really have to keep it, down here. Just flick it into neutral or something. Just let it roll down. But look at that thing. Absolutely traveling like a shopping trolley here at the moment. And a shit one from Aldi at that. Look at that. It's straight into the wall again.
Oh, my goodness. It's like when you let go of the shopping trolley thinking you're a cool bastard, and then it just plows its way into the aisle barriers there and takes out 45 shelves. Unfortunately, there for the big man, he's going to be a long, painful trip back down, and he's actually called it quits too. He's out, according to the timing tower. Don't blame him either as we go. Poor old Dave Oliver. Just that is the second of the Mountains claims here tonight. They've taken prisoners. Matt Munro, the first one. Now Dave Oliver, the second of them too. Justice and Rogers also have gone out. That is a big story too. We missed that one completely. What has happened to Betty White and the old gavel thrower there, Chris A?
I'm just scrolling through to see what happened here. It must have happened some time ago, because I cannot see. I can see Graham Hines has had a stack. Let's see what happened to him. Up into turn 2 by the looks, just too wide. And there's a fence there, matey. You have to try and avoid that one. Cannot see anything. Maybe just calling it quits there. There you go. Migraine all night, says Z Toxic. Maybe that's him there in the chat. He's just pulled it up and has had enough.
Well, that's fair enough too. If you're not healthy, Darren Justice, just get yourself out of it. Sit back, relax. Listen to us talk absolute nonsense and see some good racing at the same time. What a Tuesday night you've got on your hands. But here comes the better. And speaking of Tuesday nights, he wants to get past Bradley Cairns. He's been sitting at 11th this whole time. Ordner has just gone up and down the field here. He's tiptoeing his way around. And Cairns is now probably the man you would say out of these three who's under threat from losing a position. The better looks pretty comfortable at the moment with that Mustang. I think with this man too, he's just got to learn the tyre management a little bit because he comes on strong at the start. The end of the stint's a little bit more difficult as to better. We've seen him just not defend any overtakes that were coming his way, just let him go through. But now he's reversed that. He's now the man wanting to be the overtaker over Bradley Cairns. And that Lamborghini just looks absolutely planted through there too as well. Through the tight section. That's another car we might have to try out there, Chris O. But Mustang style here, is he going to be able to have the horsepower down the back straightaway here, Conrad style, and just send it here on this Lamborghini and in front? Not far enough in the way of the slipstream for him to get a suckage, I would say. It's 0.4 of a second. Cairns is driving the wheels off this thing tonight. Bit of encouragement, and that man just turns on. Cullen and Marshall are coming close again, and Cullen has been overtaken by Marshall there as well. We're going to have to see what happened to those two. Now, Cullen just made a mare out of the chase, And here comes the ever tail wagging Kobe Marshall, opportunistic as ever. Thank you very much, he says, out of Murray's, out the other side. And now that's a trade for position. We're going to have to check that again because they are coming and coming hard here too. Goodness me, look at that from the Aston Martin. Just straight line power. Down there, we go to fight back there for Marshall. They're contacted and around goes Cullen. No rear wing, Matt Munro style. Oh, disaster there. Kobe will be absolutely kicking himself that he thought about making that move. That was James Golding style in the Bathurst last year. Oh, absolute scenes here, and poor old Sam Cullen will find out how grippy that Aston Martin is with no rear wing around this circuit. I'll bet you he's got absolutely nothing, and Marshall caught live. 2K, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Goodness gracious me, this is what happened.
Oh, let's see. It's Marshall just pushing it up. You can see the overlap was there, or maybe just squeezed a little bit, but straight lining it through, and contact was made. Nothing nefarious there. Just two hard-working, tax-paying Aussies going for the same bit of track there, and it's always going to be one winning out over the other. But Sam Cullen is still out there, still circulating around. -1 rear wing there on the Aston. Just a couple of struts there that used to hold it on. And Dean Wright making his way through on that one as well. Kobe Marshall back here looking very sheepish as well. I don't think he wants to make that overtake happen just yet, until at least Sam Cullen makes his way into the pit lane to get that damage fixed.
Yeah, he's going to have to right now, and he'll have a lot of speed down here. I can give you the hot tip. But he's just going to have to come back in, and I wonder if Kobe Marshall just follows him through there just to do the old equal sort of. I redress that position, and I'll redress it in the pits, mate. I feel sorry for his poor stuff. Oh no! See you later. That is all it took. I knew that was going to happen. I thought Cullen was going to be absolutely on the brakes super early, and he's just made more damage to that car as well. Bits flying off it before he pirouetted with no rear downforce as well. So that Aston Martin is very, very second-hand. Probably still faster than the Formula One car in real life, though.
Yes.
GT3 style.
Certainly
but
is.
Nonetheless, goodness gracious me, that man is just unfortunately in the wrong place at the wrong time sometimes for Cullen. And he's just going to have to be, see you later into the pits and sit there like a stunned duck for about a good 45 seconds, Chriso.
Yeah, you get if he's got a fast repair, that shouldn't take too long. But maybe enough time for a quick swig of the cordial. And David Marshall straight into the chat says, Dog has already walked to the door and is waiting now. So it doesn't take much there. Old Davey's ready. And the dog, what's the dog's name, David Marshall? So we can give it a shout out on the stream. We can,
hopefully it's not Kobe Jr.
Rex. I don't know, something stupid like that.
If it's a girl, it's probably going to be called, I don't know, Bella or some shit. I don't know.
Bella.
But it is. I think it is a German Shepherd. I think that's what he told us. We'll find out in the chat anyway. We're speaking nonsense here. We'll just wait for David Marshall to hear what we're talking about on 10-second delay, and then we'll have the old information. But Bradley Cansey. Oh, Bonnie. There you go. I knew it started with B.
There you
Bonnie,
go.
Is it a German Shepherd? Yeah. David, come on, tell us what breed it is.
Bonnie
Bradley Cansey, the old Lake Bonnie Doon, is about to be walked. And I'll tell you what, that lake at the moment is about as dry as a dog's dick in the desert, because there is not much left in that thing too. No Bonnie Doon serenity for them. It's more like a bloody desert there at the moment, Chriso.
Yeah, that's right. But these three, certainly you haven't been given the memo. It's time to get... Well, it's to get your boogie on, and Ortner just still holding court over these two guys as well. Cairns and De Better throwing themselves as far down the circuit as possible here. Brendan Ortner doing a fantastic job, up 4 positions overall in the grand scheme of things. I think everyone's come through for the first round of pit stops. They indeed have, except for Justice, who never made it to the first round. He's called it quits as well. Dog's got anger issues like Kobe. Yeah, a few. I'll tell you what, with a sim racing son as well, you probably get a few holes punched in the old drywall next to the sim rig on nights like this. Yeah.
How many monitors has Kobe gone through, Dave? We want to find out. A couple are thrown at the wall, I reckon. Maybe just gives the dog the old steering wheel as a chew toy as well, just out of anger. Who knows? But it's odd that a German Shepherd from your dog training days hates other dogs. Was it a rescue? If it was a rescue, that's pretty good. And congratulations to you anyway. But speaking of congratulations, newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, Bradley Cairns is inside the top 10 Ring the ding 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 ding. You know how they used to do that back in the day? Boop, 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 boop. Morse code style. Bradley Cairns is in the top 10. That's all we need. Encouragement for him. And he's got a pretty good chance here to get himself up into 9th place with Ortner only 0.6 of a second away. He's got all the encouragement he needs right now. And look at that thing, Fang mid-corner. Just powers out the other side. Lovely, lovely driving here from Bradley Cairns. Hopefully he can keep it there too, because that will be the story of the night. Absolutely scenes here from Bradley Cairns. Lonely Lamborghini, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourselves onto it. If you're just watching this stream for the first time and you're thinking about getting into iRacing, go and get a Lamborghini, buy it, like the channel, subscribe to it, and then get that notification bell. Go to Aussie Sim Racing Discord, talk to Bradley Cairns, ask for a couple of setups, and he could have about 4 or 5 of them. Like there's 400 million of Porsches out there. We might switch to the Lamborghini, Chriso.
Yeah, that's right. He only charges $14.95 for each setup as well. So a fairly cheap day out. A couple of coffees, and you got yourself an absolutely planted little Lambo around the circuit. Here's one for the viewers watching at home. There's still 30 odd of you out there. We're we're just over half race distance, ladies and gents. So first one in the chat to give us a manufacturer car here that you want to go on board with and let that engine sing for a lap and a half while me and Zach go and get a little cordial refill. Let's see who is the first one. Do we want a Lambo? Do we want a Porsche? Do we want a Ferrari? Do we want a Ford? Do we want a Chevrolet? Do we want a BMW? Do we want an Aston Martin if it's still out there? It might still be in the pits getting repaired. We'll see who comes through with that one, because it's about yeah. Oh, look, who's that? Ortner giving us the old flasheroo as well. So he wants his car to be. There we go. Mustang. Let's do it with Ty Seville. He's the furthest Mustang up the order. And where is he on the track now? Coming down into the chase. So, ladies and gentlemen, turn your speakers up, because we're going to mute ourselves. Go and get a nice little refreshment. And you're going to hear the absolute V8 Ford style go and tackle this mountain. And we'll be back in just a moment. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. How'd you like that? A little bit of Ford Mustang raw around the mountain. at the hands of a very capable driver as well, Tysonville. That was a 2:01.19, that lap that we were just on board with, which would have been good enough for, I think, a top 5 there in the qualifying stakes. So halfway through an endurance race and they're still pumping out something that would put you in the top 5 in qualifying is something to behold indeed.
That is rapido speed at the moment. Unbelievable stuff. Look, this is a little battle here now. The closest 2 guys on the track to each other is Toomer and the British Pig. Oh, geez, look at that from British Pig. Slaps the outside wall as well. So he's looking pretty racy and pushing himself to the nth degree of that Mercedes AMG GT3. Max Verstappen just signed up to an AMG GT3 as well. Could he be going to Mercedes in 2027? We'll find out.
Is that for the Nürburgring 24 hour? Yeah, that'll be
It is indeed. I reckon good old Toto is in his ear and just saying, mate, we've got a seat for you. Don't worry about that.
Been in his ear for about 6 years now, I'm sure of it.
Probably, yeah. He's like that. He's like that annoying person at the bar that just keeps yapping your ear off. That you don't know. You've just met him for 5 minutes. You said, "G'day, mate. How you going?" And the next minute, you've got 5 years of storytelling that you're not interested about. That's probably what Toto's doing to Max. Holy shizing! But nonetheless, Toomer is doing a great job. Debut, Chriso. Started in 27th. Finishing so far in this race, if nothing happens to him, with the 888 livery there style, in 18th. Great drive from him. This is going to be very, very nice for him to set up his confidence for next season at the GT3 style. And he's getting pretty racy here, the British Pig, keeping him honest. 204.022 versus 204.047. So they're only within 15 thousandths of each other, and it's good racing here, and he's got half a chance here up the hill at Mountain Straight. I reckon he's just close enough now. 0.3 of a second. This could be, no, it's not sending material. It'll take an absolute effort, Chambers effort to get himself up into that position. They're getting a little bit closer as we go racing. Again, it's different to see, though, how these cars behave. You've got mid, rear, and front engine cars driving their way around this mountain, and the skill set is just so close, but the car can sometimes just not suit you. All it takes is another $14 purchase, and you might go from 20th up to 10th in the overall pace department just based on the car, Chriso. Yeah,
that's right. Especially in, I guess, the mid to close to being advanced drivers. They'll be able to squeeze a little bit more out of something that your driving style suits you. But when you get up into that top echelon, you need to be running the meta car for each circuit, which is kind of a shame in these video games, but just there's really no way around it. I think in Bathurst, I'm pretty sure it's Aston's pretty strong as well, so you'll find in a lot of the top split racing there in the special events, it's Aston's all the way down the field. Porsches as well, I think, are pretty good, but then again, I don't spend enough time in the seat anymore to really know the ground. The info to the ground. To be fair, so it's all just what I hear on the forums, and I don't really read them that often either. So, ladies and gentlemen, take what I say with a grain of salt, but there is a car coming up behind him. That is Tysonville, and he's got the headlights ablaze. This is P2, folks. He's got about 14 seconds down. Has Ryan Hunter made a pit stop yet? Or he has. There's just a massive gap between those two guys now at the moment. They were only separated by less than a second the entire way around.
Yeah, they were. I think there was a different fuel load putting in the car in the pit stops between the two. One's gone for one strategy, the other one's gone for the other. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out in the final dying moments of this race. We're 55.5 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen, and the story so far is Hunter and Saville have been trading places over P1 and 2 teammates respectively. Parkinson's also in that team as well, with Ferber and Dan Smith having a good old tussle between each other, but they've been split as well. Cicciolina's got no pace to catch up to those, so he's had a lonely night there in 6th. Bright, Marshall, Ordner, Cairns to better have all put on a show for us at some stage too. We've had a few casualties. Sam Cullen got smashed into the wall there by that 325 car on your screen just going by of Kobe Marshall there into Quarry Bend. That's why he's 4 laps down and out. Oliver smashed the wall, cracked his way through halfway down the Conrad Straight and called it quits. Justice and them also said bugger it. Rogers has done so as well because his VR stuffed up. And look at David Marshall. This donation was the Sunday night Gen 3 race. not tonight's lackluster performance. He's just paying it backwards now, is David Marshall. He's no Kevin Costner. He's all about paying it backwards. And thank you, mate, for the $20 super chat. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolute beautiful stuff. It's donations like that, ladies and gentlemen, that keeps the lights on here at Sensational TV. So obviously, all of your donations absolutely appreciated. Something's just gone wrong here. I think he might have heard that there's no ice cream for Kobe, and he's just pulling it up. He's travelling slowly down the mountain straight or up the mountain straight. Maybe some VR issues possibly headed his way. He's managed to navigate through Griffins here and keep it on the track, but certainly travelling slowly, and definitely a problem here, possibly hardware related.
I think what David Marshall did to get our $20 is he quickly went onto the old farming machine, Bitcoin style, and just took all the network bandwidth away. And Kobe Marshall's Airlink just went bang, see you later. But he's got the thing back on the road. Looks okay. Maybe he was just not wanting to get involved in the Ortner versus Cairns scenario there. Go for it. There is Hunter into the pits. That's what I was thinking. He didn't go quick enough, long enough on the fuel. So he's traded places now with Saville, who's back into the lead of this one. Parkinson's coming through, is going to take him as well. Parko will have to pit again because he pitted a little bit earlier than the rest of them. So it's still Hunter in the pits. Ferber's going to get the job done. Smith's going to get the job done as well. So for the last 33 minutes, of the race, we will find out where Mr. Hunter will come out in that BMW. He pitted on lap 28. Which is now, I will say, Chriso, his last one. The other guys are still 10 laps earlier, so it is a long stint for him. He will come out and hopefully be net second place by the time he gets there, unless Saville just does 58,000 blinder laps around this circuit lap record style and gets it done. But Kobe Marshall here, climbing back into this one, is sorted out whatever teething issues they were, Chriso. Canzo has got a rear vision mirror full of a red and black Ferrari.
Well, we're getting close to that two-thirds through the race moment, and we saw everyone kind of start to pit, or at least most of the field pit, around that 30-minute mark, which was 1/3 through the race. So possibly we're going to see all those guys come through again in the next 5 to 7 minutes, I'm going to say. And if not, if my first instinct was correct that you could possibly get an hour out of the fuel tank, we might just see all those guys that pitted early just power on and go through to the end, while you've got guys like Parko Ryan Hunter, who just pitted and will have much fresher tyres for the end of the race. If he takes tyres, mind you, we might not even do that. He might just have the old splash and dash to the end, so less fuel to take on board and less time spent in the pits. But he's certainly on an alternate strategy to everyone else, and time will only tell to see if those guys that pitted early can go through to the end, or they all have to go through the pits once more.
Yeah, we'll see what happens between those drivers with the dead tyre scenario. Could do the old Dan Smith and put 3 tyres on instead of 4, and without the working side. But here at Bathurst, you get a bit of everything. So you might have to opt to go for a rear only or a front only scenario. If you do so, that's the question that we don't know. The $1 million question. The drivers will know. We'll find out in the podium probe at the proceedings of this race. We hit the hour mark, ladies and gentlemen. 30 minutes to go here. Going to finish this race at local time 9:39 in all the states that have daylight savings, 8:39 in the other ones as well. So strap yourselves in for half an hour. If you haven't refilled those condiments, get them refilled, because we will be seeing some action here within the next 6 or 7 minutes, pit stop style, strategy style, and then battling just the old tyre delta offset will be coming into play. So strap yourselves in and get in. There goes Kobe Marshall into the pits right on cue. So he's now got to put in the 30 minutes worth of fuel there, or tyres, whichever one he comes through. He's just fanging it through the pits. Does he get it through?
Really
he
nice.
does. Just on the limit, I would say, there of the pit limiter too. No black flag for him, so he got it in nicely, and he'll just have a beautiful fresh set of tyres, I would say, here for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. And as I was on that little spiel about how long you can go on that tank of fuel, I forgot that it was Ryan Hunter that just pitted, so that's 58 minutes or something, 57 minutes that he went on that initial opening stanza. So those guys that did pit after the 30-minute mark, they're probably thinking they could just limp it away to the very end. And how long did Ryan Hunter spend in the slipstream of Ty Seville? That was a thing that happened about halfway through that first stint as well. While those guys were battling, it was Hunter that just gave up the lead. Very easily, mind you, as well, where they swapped positions right here on the circuit it was. And Ty Seville took over the lead of the race, where Hunter just snuck in behind and maybe just did a little bit of fuel saving on his way to that 57-odd minute stint.
Yeah, that's probably right there, Chris. And I think that's where we'll find out his net position once they all start to do so, because it'll be very, very intriguing. Nonetheless. What was that?
It is.
It
Very
is indeed,
intriguing, yes.
Intriguing stuff, yes.
Claps for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, racing onwards, though, and we'll see where he comes in the grand scheme of things. Speaking of coming, this man, Ty Saville, boy, oh boy, is he had the old Rogering on tonight. He's just been right up there in the pointy end, and he's been leading the race most of the time. Nearly slaps the wall there. My goodness gracious me. That is commitment there through an hour of racing, how they keep themselves right committed and smash the wall there too. Just that little 1-2 kilometre extra deficit that you have is all it takes to slap the outside wall. He survives though. Bit of scuffing and rubbing on the outside of those decals on that car, but survives nonetheless. Just through all of this, through the S's, the elbow and the dipper, we come out the other side. Lovely, lovely stuff. And he's just on the prowl here with Saville. How long will these tyres last? How much fuel saving does he have to do? Because we've only got 27 minutes left of racing. And the question is, where is Hunter going to be at the end of it?
I reckon he's going to be pretty close. These guys very much matched in terms of pace. Their best laps, I think Ty Seville has just got him there. A 2-minute dead 0.61 is his, or 2:6:06 is his best lap. Whereas, Hunter is, there's a 4/10 differential there. Hunter is 4/10 quicker on his best lap around. But currently, Seville setting the pace about a second quicker than Ryan Hunter. Is fresh out of the pit. So maybe with a full tank, maybe just a little bit slower to get moving. We've got Sam Cullen in the chat. We are down under now. So technically, I'm fourth right now. We're at down under. We are at down under now. So technically, I'm fourth right now. I don't know what that means.
What is he on about?
Down under. Possibly we're flipping the timing tower upside down because we're down under, and he is fourth instead of 24.
He's forgetting that there's like 35 people that were actually entered into the race.
There's 36 actually.
36. There you go. Sambo, sorry mate, you're not fourth. You're about 12th, son. So just get off the 420, mate, and do the maths really quickly. Goodness gracious me. Hopefully you're okay out there. That was a big hit into the wall. Hopefully the old steering wheel didn't give you a good old wrist breaker scenario there, and you will be racing onwards, hopefully into next season, GT3 style or Gen 3 or both. I look forward to catching you then, Samuel. But David Merchant here. That car has looked pretty racy around this circuit at certain points. He found some grip and whatever into the chase because he was flying through that thing, somehow pulled it up. He's got a lot of front-end grip on this thing. Can he keep the thing settled in the arse? So that's the big question. And 15th at the moment is 3 up from where he started. 18th he started in, where the British Pig is right now, flying around here. He's got a good 9 seconds between himself and the next man up the road, Bennett. So a little bit of insurance, and also back behind him is Garth Duffy, who's, mind you, Garth Duffy, we haven't called him much tonight. He's just having a little bit of a mare. His old BLTV just came alive when the wet racing was on. The dry stuff here at Bathurst, not the track for him ultimately here, but a shocking result for him. He started in 9th, was where he qualified, ladies and gentlemen, and finds himself in 16th. Wonder what happened to the big man. Yeah, gone missing. And I mean, in the championship standings, I'll bring those up as well because there's not much action happening out on circuit at the moment. You can see Garth Duffy there, only 7 points clear of Ferber, and Chambers not too far behind either. And both of those guys sitting in front of him here at the moment. Actually, Chambers is, where is he on the timing tower? Nowhere to be seen. He's gone.
Certainly Ferber is going to jump him here unless Duffy gets an absolute wriggle on and can somehow get at least closer to the back of those guys at the front.
Imagine if Ash Rogers' VR headset did not stuff out in the pit stop. He could have just got third place in the championship. With those maths, or seeing that on the adding it up very quickly here with the scenario of Garth Duffy, he would have been third in the championship. The old erection in Rogers, goodness me! But that's racing, ladies and gentlemen, and that is why you got to be in it to win it. And unfortunately, technical dilemmas do come to a grips. And look at this now. This is getting very close here. Tuma is going on the attack, ladies and gentlemen. Up 8th place is old Jefferino, and he's got the British Pig in front of him. He's gone defensive early down the front straightaway. Will he go for a trailer park outside move? We'll see. Into Hull corner we go. He is going to try and send it, but he's just out-braked himself there. The ABS kicked in, but he's gone for the old switchback V'd up the corner, which gives him maximum momentum. Up the mountain straight we go. That Mercedes-Benz has got a lot of gusto, a lot of torque, a lot of V8 power, and it's just skipping away from him. Tuma's got no answers here in the Audi, even in the slipstream, and that is unbelievable in the old fair dinkum department. Through Quarry Bend we go, just getting on the edge of it now. He's right up close. He won't go for a move into the cutting here, surely. He knows a bit better than that. This is British Pig style now. He's got it all to lose here. Tuma's got it all to win. They'll both go through. That was wide there from British Pig. Tuma also on the dance on the RCN, nearly lost it himself. This is racing literally within half a car length through the top end of the mountain. Jeez Louise, out through Griffin's Bend we go, and Reed Park's coming up through the great section we go. Sulman's now about to be here. Is this going to be Jeff Tuma's time to give the old hurry up over Skyline? Through with Philomene we go. Lovely stuff. It's looking bright into that sunrise there as well. No, the British Pig just puts that pointy AMG GT3 through the paces. Smashed it into the background. Goodness gracious me, that was nearly disaster. But Tuma here is looking pretty racy, Chris. Lovely driving from the both of them. Full aggression, full push, and it's now a Conrod straight battle coming our way.
Full brown pants moment as well, as they checked up through the dipper. The Audi just with way more pace through there, and didn't expect the Merc to just be slowing down that much. And there was obviously contact between the two of them there, and now Tuma just a little bit sheepish because of that. He will have to gather up his chickens and go again for the next lap. With that Merc being so, it's pretty powerful in a straight line, as we've seen. Really good getting the power down as well, but I think maybe just the pace holds in that Audi machine of Jeff Tuma. So we're going to see him just regather his thoughts and go on the attack once more time with what do we got? 22 and a bit minutes to go, or 21 and a bit minutes to go here. I think British Pig has got his hands full here to try and keep that Audi behind. There's more battles just starting, small little spot fires starting to go off up the order as well. Bradley Cairns in the thick of it. Kobe Marshall giving him plenty. We're going to have to switch to that because they're side by side going down the Conrod straight here. The 325, it's the battle of the mid-engine cars here. The beautiful Italian stallions, the pair of them. Beautiful cars going side by side, and Bradley Cairns just has to yield and let the Kobe Marshall machine with possibly some new tyres on. I don't know. I don't think anyone's going to be taking tyres in this. I think it's all just fuel and fresh thoughts, and away he goes again. But let's go back down to that little battle where Tuma has gotten past the British Pig as well. So we'll see that on the replay. It's obviously going up into turn 2. No, it's actually a wide moment there through the cutting for the British Pig, and that's an easy overtake in the end for Jeff Tuma.
Yeah, he just got caught out there, watching in his mirrors too much, I would say there. As Larry Perkins says, young bloke, cold tyres, fucked up.
Fucked it up.
Fucked it up. We just don't know. But the British Pig, I don't know how old he is, but nonetheless, the pressure was building. And Tuma just got the mental advantage over him and finds himself into 18th place again. Started in 27th position, ladies and gentlemen, and up into 18th place as I just hold off a burp there. Goodness gracious me, the Coca-Cola is just coming straight to my throat here at the moment. But two people are in the pits, Parkinson and Ryan J. Ferber, in fact. So it is now a battle of the pit stops. Who's going to be there? Who's going to get out in front? Who's got the shorter load? That is Kyle Douglas getting right out of it. He's come in early, so he's not in that equation. That is the move there. Parkinson has got out in front of Ferber. Is Ferber moving yet? No, he's not. Here comes Cicciolina into the pits too. Ferber's taken a long stop. They came in with each other about 2 seconds difference, and it's ended up being about 9 by the time he's got himself back off the air jacks and up the road. Now, Parkinson is getting a little bit of a hurry up from a lap traffic marker. I don't know what that livery is in the green Porsche you were talking about, Chris.
Oh, it's a famous Porsche team.
Is it really?
Yeah. Just the name escapes me.
I've got no idea. I'm absolutely nowhere. But Parkinson, 4th place now for him. So he's got out there. He's got 8 seconds between himself and Ty Saville in 3rd place. And Hunter and Smith are yet to pit. Has Stan Smith got the old fuel management wizardry trick on here at the moment in that Corvette? Because if he leads it here with only 29 minutes left, 19 minutes to go, that could be the old fuel saving of the century style for Dan Smith.
Manthe Racing.
Manthe Racing. Well, there you go. I've learned something new.
Been around for ages, and they always sport that green and gold livery, which gets my undercarriage tingling.
And anything with green and that Chriso is just all about it. His boogers included. When he picks his nose, if they're green, he eats them. That's how
mostly. They're black these days. I'll tell you what.
Black from the old Bolivian booger sugar back in the day.
No, I wish. No. It was skulking around the back of an old theatre, and it's just dusty as all shit. So I was just snotting black. It's beautiful stuff.
I feel you, mate. Deck sanding for me as well.
Yeah, you'd have it too. Yeah.
With the mask on, it still gets in there somehow, and can have all the masks in the world that you want. But boy, oh boy, after a good 10-hour session on the old coating removal scenario, you are absolutely as black as Michael Jackson sometimes by the time you finish today. It is unbelievable. But Patterson here, 13th place, started in 11th. He's still been able to climb his way through the field here as Patterson. He missed the start, ladies and gentlemen. He was in 28th place, but he's about to get done here by Merchant. Straight up the inside goes Dan Merchant.
Cold.
It's just easy as done as that. That was unbelievable stuff. But Dan Merchant just finds pace in that thing at any given time. And if he could do this lap after lap, he'd probably be inside the top 5, I reckon, Chriso.
Yeah, I mean, his best lap, 2:02.8, so he's about on pace to where he needs to be, but absolutely gave Patterson a bath there on the way through. So I don't know if Patterson having some troubles there in the Porsche, because his best lap is in the 2:01. So his last lap around 2:02.7, which was quicker than Merchant again. So maybe just a bit of a mistake there, maybe some hardware issues, maybe, I don't know, the cat sniffing around at his pedals and had to kick the thing out.
Oh, mid bloody swallow there, the old Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Caught me out big time. Nonetheless, it's all just falling apart here in the old commentary box. We're just having breaks. We're looking at each other. I'm taking a sip. Chris looks at the old screen and trying to find his way with the binoculars up Mount Panorama. Turns his head after he's finished speaking, and I'm mid-sip. Goodness gracious me, in the old Dead Set Fair dinkum department.
The catering's been quite nice to us here at Mount Panorama, I have to say.
Courtesy of the Ridges Hotel, mind you, just in the back end of this shot here. As well, goodness me, Patterson. That is as sideways as I've seen a Porsche GT3 go without binning it. That was beautiful car control from him as well. But comes to racing, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to be in it to win it. And we've got a good 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people who have not finished this race. And if you need to get yourself into a championship position, you just got to do what this guy does, British Pig. He just shows up every round, doesn't care. He hardly ever DNFs. He doesn't care if he gets 20th, 6th, 12th, 14th, 58th, whatever. He just comes in, shows us how to do it, and that proves, because he is up from 24th place qualifying in 19th, and he's just handing back down that little mistake he did through the cutting on Toomer, which allowed Toomer through. And he's now just trying to lick his wounds a bit and get back in that racing zone. Look at that thing just cycle through the chase there. He's just so pointy through there. I don't know how these guys in the AMGs are not quicker, Chriso.
Yeah, well, that's right. They got so much engine over the front wheels as well, so plenty of biological downforce, or mechanical downforce, as we like to call it, with that engine over the front wheels. So definitely a pointy car to drive. It's about getting on the power too, because over the rear wheels, it's not as much weight as there is over the rear of that Audi. But you get that Mercedes V8 thing fired up, and it can certainly travel in a straight line. And we're getting a full kit of that here at the moment, aided by a bit of the Bathurst suck at $2.50 for half an hour, if you don't mind. Here he goes up into turn 2. Rivers Bend, thank you very much. He's going to actually just pulls out of it, and the Audi sails around the outside. Thank you very much. He says, I'm not going to let you go up the inside that easily, Mr. Mercedes. You're going to have to work for it this time. But these two have been just battling it out over the last few laps as well, very evenly matched in that way, but two very different GT3 cars in their genetics as well. So they're going to be faster, they're going to be be slower over different parts of the circuit. So it's a really interesting battle to see these two guys at it.
Yeah, what's happened to Garth Duffy? He's got a yellow flag next to him. We'll see what's happening. Just a slowdown penalty, but this is on here. Merchant, I was just watching that on the timing tower actually get a little bit closer. It was within a tenth and a half there, and he's made a mare of it again as Merchant. So that is going to allow now Patterson to move up the inside. Is there overlap? No, there is not, but sending it up underneath the brake, surely. There it goes. The big man of Patterson gets Merchant done. Out of the other side, up Mountain Straight. Whole corner's done. And that Porsche can just start to skip away. And I'll tell you what, Merchant isn't happy about that for whatever reason. I don't know, because the big man just stuffed it up himself. And he's upset about how that man got past him. But just keep your head down. Get back in the racing zone. Stop red-misting yourself, and you'll be fine, mate.
Was he flashing the lights? I wasn't watching there.
He was.
He was. Okay, yeah, maybe just a flashing as maybe a congratulatory nice move, mate.
Well done battling. Thank you very much.
Well done. Cheers for the battle. I'll see you at the end.
Speaking of battling, Chriso, Ryan Hunter, Dan Smith, P3 and 4 is getting spicy here. We'll see what happened here to old Sad Doritos, though. He's got Ryan J. Ferber coming up behind him. Is this? He's just looped it around. Just slapped the wall, raw riding it Chastain style, and smacko into the tyre barrier he goes. Oh, that's insult to injury, isn't it? You're just going to get it done. Unfortunately, bloody hell, that's close. But this is even closer here. Look at Smith just dancing that thing. He's coming to the pits from the lead, ladies and gentlemen, finds himself in a podium. So now Dan Smith, Chriso, is 100% not wanting to give this up. I can guarantee you after that, he's not going to make it easy here for the old Hunter.
No, that's right. He knows that his closest nemesis in the championship, Duffy's all the way down the order here. So he's got a little bit of breathing room to maybe just pump the tyres up of his ego and keep old Ryan Hunter at bay. These guys, they were fairly evenly matched. But I'll tell you what, Hunter and Seville were a class above in qualifying. And certainly in that opening stint, they were both just pumping in the 2-minute deads like they were just absolutely nothing. So we're going to get a good idea about how Dan Smith wants to go about his race here and whether he wants to defend through this entire section, because they're coming up with some blue flaggers as well. So that's going to throw another little variant into the mix here, and maybe Dan can take advantage of that. But Kyle Douglas now just making his way around that BMW down the bottom of the screen. Here goes, here he goes, the BMW up the inside. Ryan Hunter just gets the job done. Dan Smith happy to let him go this time, because now they've absolutely caught up with the blue flaggers, and this could be pandemonium here. Where is Dan Smith going to pick his way through, if he can, or is he just going to sit behind, wave the white flag, and know that there is a bigger picture at play, and that is the championship?
It is the championship at play. He doesn't need to battle too hard here at the moment, so he's just you let him go. I thought he would leave him a little bit less room there in the old defensive department, but just let them. Yeah, I reckon. Well, look, he's just made us look like absolute chumps here in the commentary box. But Stan Smith, he knows what he's doing. He's got the championship potentially wrapped up here, barring a hardware disaster for him, and that could be all over. Good night, Irene, for anyone. But it comes into some races, ladies and gentlemen, you've got a battle to win, but it's all about winning the war. And it looks like here that Hunter now versus the big man Kyle Douglas, who has not seen him, just it does get out of the way just in time for these two to get by. And that is a beautiful little manoeuvre there from Dan Smith, too. Just got through the nick of time there. Kyle Douglas had to go for it, but now Brittingham is all over the back of Toomer again. These guys have been hammering and tonging each other the whole night. Crowbars, fists, whatever, and Brittingham is going to go for the outside. He nearly just chops the old rear quarter panel off the Audi. Somehow didn't do it, and he's got the old high beams on here now. He's not too happy. Toomer, he's just keeping him behind and keeping him honest here ever since he got past him. So the British Pig is just trying to do that the long way and the hardest way possible, trying to use every trick in the book when he can with the car. He's got to flash those headlights in a braking zone or something just to put that car off in front. That's exactly what I would do, but nonetheless, Toomer is keeping him honest here, Chris.
Yeah, I think just got to bide his time here as well. Just keep the pressure on, and maybe that opportunity will fall into your lap for Carl Brittingham. So he's just got to hang fat there with Toomer. It is his first time out as well, so possibly thinking, I might just want to bully this new guy into a mistake, and I think that he might be able to do it, because Toomer looked certainly when he was behind Carl. I thought, this guy's got all the pace in the world, but now he's got around him, and and he hasn't been able to stretch that gap out, and that's certainly given the British Pig a fair bit of confidence too, and enough to fire up the old fog lights as well on the Merc AMG GT3 too, so he's keeping them honest there. But just as I say that gap is starting to eke out to about 4/10, 5/10. The Bathurst slipstream just bringing that down a little bit as well into the braking zone here at the chase. And now they're closer than ever. So here we go. The British Pig now can maybe just start to look, keep his eye out. And you can see Toomer says, yeah, you want to show the nose? I'm going to show me ass down into the hell corner as well. So you can have a good old look at that thing, son.
Yeah, look at that thing. It's dancing its way, and it's just the different streaks of the car and the driver around each other's parts of the circuit where they come to light. And all that Brittingham now has to do is just start to get the exits nailed and use that horsepower that he's got in that AMG GT3 up into these sections at the moment. He didn't do it there at Hull Corner up Mountain Straight, so he's just got to go back to the drawing board for now. But it's at the later stages where that horsepower does come into it, as we saw on Conrod Straight just prior, where that AMG just comes into its own and it starts to catch up on that old Audi. But that Audi is pretty quick mid-corner, just dancing its way through. The mid-engine is just 100% the better mid-corner speed car, as physics would tell you. Nonetheless, a little bit understeer in these things, but then you power it out the other side. You make up for the old early turn-in and just V out the corner in the old AMG. But it's just gapped him big time as Toomer now, 7/10 of a second between those two, and it's just about teetering on that edge as well. I'll tell you what, Dan Smith has not let go of Ryan Hunter here too. It's back down to half a second. It was a second literally one lap ago, and he's just found some pace again. That could be interesting here. This is the final step on the podium that we're battling over, and this is incredible. What about Ryan? Oh, what is it? I've completely lost my train of thought there. I was going to say, yeah, what has this man done in the old strategy department? Is he okay? Has he got the fuel to the end? That is the big question, because 6 seconds is not enough to cover off a pit stop. There's 2 stops between Parkinson and Saville, and there's 3 stops for Hunter, who's in third, and Dan Smith only on the second. So you wonder why Hunter has just not been able to gap Dan Smith. It's getting ever so closer there too. It's within a 10th or 2 there as well. Into Hull Corner we go around the outside. No, it's just going to be a
nice
nail the exit scenario, and it's looking pretty good here for Smith. He's got a good run out of there. It's already under 0.2 of a second. He's so close here, Crizzo. Could there be an overtake into Quarry?
Yeah, you can see him just with the massive overspeed here as well. Hunter goes to the inside, but there's going to be a fair bit of overlap by the time we get into the braking zone. It's going to be enough for Dan Smith to sweep around the outside. Gives him way too much room there around the outside, and Hunter relinquishes that position for a moment, but then goes back up into P4 as well. But Dan Smith probably could have turned the screws a little bit harder there into Griffins, but I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's the final round of the championship when you're sitting in the lead, battling with the guy who's not in contention at all. Certainly in contention for the race win or podium, but he doesn't have to be concerning himself with such activities as to battling it out with the lonely BMW. So I think this is all just ego here for Dan Smith, and he probably could have had a crack at him there, but I think he's got the pace to stay with him, and there may be another opportunity for him to sling it up the inside somewhere around this circuit again. So, just shows the nose there as well. Down into Forest Elbow. I don't know if it's going to be the spot to make that overtake with the braking power of the BMW. Really nicely done into that one. So I think it'll be a repeat. Out of turn 1 is where that Corvette is strong, and Dan Smith probably going to try and just get as far up his ass, is what I'm trying to say, as far close to that bum of the BMW as he can through this next little section, and then set him up for a nice exit out of turn 1 and the overtake into turn 2. A little bit more aggressive this time.
Yeah, it was looking pretty racy there from him down Conrod. That thing's definitely got the legs in a straight line as that Corvette over the BMW. But he's just got to stick within that 0.3 of a second of the man in front of him to get that sucked down Mountain Straight, and he's done so. It's under 0.2 of a second now in that territory. He's just going to feign back and go for the old exit strategy there and go for it on the outside. No, he's just sent it too wide and onto the bunda and see you later. So that was too much of a push there, but it's still only neutralised at 4.5 of a second. And you can just see the horsepower again. Look at that, how slippery this thing is over the BMW. He's found another 1/10.5 within 400 metres of racetrack. If he can just stick it right here throughout the rest of this lap down Conrod, he's going to get third place back again. And Hunter is just under all sorts of pressure here. He already gave up that position, and Dan Smith went too wide into the corner on the previous lap. But Smith has just got the pace here in the dying stages here, Chris, with under 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's right. The tracks come to him. His cars come to him as well. And he is at one with that Corvette as well. So, yeah, you can see him just hounding the back of that BMW now, keeping the mirrors full. And I think Dan Smith knows where he's going to be vulnerable. It's going to be up into turn 2. That is the spot for him to make the positional overtake if he's going to do it. Because across the top of the mountain here, you can see he's very quick. So if he does make that overtake into turn 2, he might be able to just stretch the legs across the top and down the hill again to consolidate that overtake for the next lap. We're getting down to final couple of laps territory, ladies and gentlemen. 4 minutes to go. That's 2.5 laps, 3 laps at most, depending on where the leader is around this circuit. He's just coming through the chase as we speak. So that'll be 26 and a half, 28 and a half, and then, yeah, this will be the second last lap, I assume. So Dan Smith, he needs to get his boogie on, but he also doesn't, because he's got control of this championship all up in about it. But as we know, with sim racing drivers and in the real life, it doesn't matter about a championship. You want those wins, you want those overtakes, and everyone counts.
They do, in fact, and you've got to be in it to win it. And he's been around all season, Dan Smith, and he's copped a few non-podium races as well, but he's been a winner in the majority of them. That's why he's leading this championship. And you can see the better exit, as Chris I just said in my ear as well. It's looking pretty good. It's just the horsepower right now. It's just closing and closing. 3 tenths now under. It's 2.5 tenths. Is he going to send it up the inside? No, he won't. He's going to look for it and just half get the old dummy. But I'll tell you what, Hunter was no dummy to it. He's just galloped on in the racing department, knows exactly where he needs to put that BMW to keep it there as well. And he's just showing the nose again. This is now territory for Dan Smith. He's just lining it up. This is the old checkers and chess scenario here. Who's playing the long game? Who's going for the attack? Who's just thinking about it? I reckon here at the moment that Hunter is just fuel saving like no tomorrow. Dan Smith doesn't need to worry about it. The pace is rapid, and you can just see how close they are. Within 2 tenths of a second through the great section. Are you absolutely kidding me here, ladies and gentlemen? That's the commitment of the man Dan Smith behind. Now we're coming up through McPhillamy, and then we're into Skyline here now. How close can he be through this section, through the S's in 11, 12, 13, and 14? That was so dicey there. He's given up 2 or 3 tenths there alone in that section. So we're going to have one more lap here, I reckon, by the time they get around. But is Dan Smith now just giving the old false sense of security to Ryan Hunter in third and just coming back at him in a rate of knots for the final turn? We'll find out. But here comes the horsepower section. Down Conrad again. It's under 8 tenths of a second. You watch, it'll be under 6 tenths of a second by the time we get down to the end of the chase here. I reckon it is the pace of that car. Look at the thing just climbing on the timing tower. 6 tenths of a second gone. Now it's 5.5 tenths. That thing's got 4 tenths on this mountain straight alone for Dan Smith. You can just nail through the S's. He will be absolutely there for the taking. But it is the last lap of the race, I would say, right now.
Yep.
Because it's 28.32. It's less than 2 minutes to go in the race, and it's a 2-minute odd lap. It's going to be a win here for Saville if he keeps it together, but this battle for third is right on, Chriso.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's going to be interesting to the very end. Dan Smith, he hasn't put a foot wrong all season, and that's why he leads this thing. But I tell you what, that's a big mistake for both of them, actually. It's monkey see, monkey do, as Zach O'Reilly would say. Ryan Hunter just taking a full car spin off into the bunda. Dan Smith, all he had to do was get turn 1 right, and that would have been the position his. But now I think the white flag will wave. There's very much not many overtaking zones in this circuit. The next one would probably either be Forest Elbow or the Chase, but that is enough for him. Ryan Hunter very strong down the S's and through the dipper last time around, so he can do that. That will consolidate that P3 for him. Ty Seville, though, he's out there in front. He is about down through the dipper himself, so with a 10-second lead over Joseph Parkinson, who we've hardly called all night. He's out there in no man's land, and another BMW, 2 Beamers up in the top 3, so a pretty strong car around here obviously as well. So he is in for a nice little night, depending on what sort of treats he gets for coming in as a podium. We like to speculate about what happens to some of these drivers if they get a podium in some of these races. So we can you can let your imagination wander, Zach O'Reilly.
You can be after hours action. Is it going to be sort of the old roll a leg over stuff, you name it?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, this guy, if he does have a misso, he's going to definitely be rolling the leg over, because this guy is about to take the checkered flag, ladies and gentlemen. Ty Saville, the winner of the final race here for the Aussie Sim Racing GT3 Championship, 90 minutes at Bathurst, comes across the line and says, "Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. I'll take P1. Congratulations to Ty Saville. That is a driver of the century." His teammate behind him, Joseph Parkinson, will take second, who has got the straights, ladies and gentlemen. No steady Eddie here tonight. Second place again in that one. And Hunter versus Smith is going to be decided by 0.6 of a second. Hunter gets the final position on the podium for third. Smith has to go for fourth, but that is your season champion right there, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he is a winner. He is season champion, and rightly done so, as the rest of them just pull off to the side. There goes Ryan J. Ferber, who got fifth, and Dan Smith is already cutting to the infield and calling it quits already. But you see, what season are we in, Chris? Oh, Jesus Christ.
3.
Season 3 champion is one Dan Smith. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's right. After, an hour and a half in the chair, these guys are not in the mood for an outlap, so they've already pulled it off and given it the beans, and off they go into the ether. Ryan J. Ferber crosses the line in 5th position. Then we got Cicciarello, Dean Wright in 7th position, Brendan Ortner, Jake DeBetta in 9th, Kobe Marshall rounds out your top 10. Then we got Cairns, Bennett, Patterson, Merchant, and a lap behind we got Douglas Duffy down there in 16th position, so losing out big time in the points in the end. Brittingham, Tuma, Asonia, who is the silent assassin today. I don't think we called his name once, but up 6 positions down into 19th position. Sorry about that. The, what do we call him? The Wog Boy or whatever it is. He's there in 19th position. 20th is Abasara. Welcome to the series. We didn't call his name up 11 positions as well. Lonely race for him. Then we got Sykes, Savadoridas, Avatkar. We got Cullen and the Oliver. Justice in 26th, and these are all non-finishers from here on in. Rogers, Chambers, Freeman, Hines, Richter, Williams, Munro, Marshall, Parker, and Zach Williams rounding out your top 36. What a turnout, Zach O'Reilly, for the last round of the season.
Yeah, they don't care. They're just like, you know what, bugger it. We'll come in and show up. It's Bathurst in the GT3. I'll have a fang. And that's exactly what they did. But the winner of the night is one, Saville, and Parkinson Hunter will get 2nd and 3rd place. So if any of the boys want to come and have a chat to us there, or they called it a night because it's been a long session, 90 minutes of Bathurst, when you've got 20 newton meters of force on your wheel, it's not an easy feat, ladies and gentlemen. You'd be as sweaty as a gypsy with a mortgage, I can guarantee you, by the end of it. We're waiting on them to come in at this stage for the old podium probe. If anyone wants to come in, I hope we hear from Dan Smith too, their season champion as well, if he feels like it at some stage. But geez Louise, what a season. Season 3 got close. It was going to be close there at the end. Parkinson's waiting in the pit box, so we're going to drag him in and have a chat to him, Chriso. It's going to be a good little chat here, and Hunter's joined the chat too. We're all up and about. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right. Congrats, Parkinson, on P2, mate. It looks like what team are you guys in? It looks like an absolute 1-2-3 lockout here from you guys. And congrats on that one.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, we're Team OCE.
There we go. OCE in the light blue. It's starting to feature more and more in the top end of this series. So thanks for coming around. Are you guys going to plan on making a move for season 4 to take the championship away from one D Smith? No, that's good.
Can't hear for the game chat.
Yeah, sure.
It's good. We've got some audio issues there for the podium positions. Ty Seville is in there as well for Team OCE. Congrats, mate. The strategy seemed to play out in the end. You took an early pit stop compared to Ryan Hunter. What were the fuel numbers there? How far could you stretch a tank?
That was when I pit. I couldn't go anymore. The Moose is a fuel guzzler.
Yeah, right.
Compared to that BMW.
Yeah, that's a big difference as well. I think it was another 15 minutes, I think, that the BMW was able to stay out there.
Yes. Yeah, it's very, very, very different in fuel usage. It's about nearly a lap. So it's a lot different.
Was there any fuel saving that you could have done there, big fella, or was to keep the pace, or was it just impossible to?
Impossible.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, it's just a different beast altogether.
Yep.
For sure. That was incredible. But still, got to be happy with the result, mate. How did the car feel around there? And were you basically all ready to rock and roll from the get-go, or was it just a matter of you talking to Parko and Hunter there and trading places, whoever was going to be there with you in the pace department?
Yeah, pretty much. I was sort of struggling a little bit at the beginning, and then I bumped the wall, and then I just said, Ryan, pass, and then I was struggling to keep up, and ended up getting wheel damage in that second stint, and it was hard to deal with. And then I got real lucky with Ryan getting taken out by a lap car.
Is that what happened? Aha!
Yes.
You both gapped me.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what happened there because you guys were so close in that first stint, and then afterwards it was Hunter back another 15 seconds. So what happened there, Ryan? It was a lap marker coming up and ruining your day.
Yeah, I feel like I nailed the strategy. I pit early, put less fuel on, but managed to get right side tyres on, which benefited massively. So I think I was, 13 seconds up the road or something, and then a lap car crashed at the dipper and I couldn't avoid it, so I used a fast repair for that. And then I was looking to try get second anyway, and then I just clipped the wall before the cutting like an absolute donkey, so it was about trying to hang on for third at that point, but luckily we managed to do that.
Yeah, it was a good little battle there with you and Smith at the end. There was a decisive moment about 2 or 3 laps from the end where you just absolutely nailed the downhill section through the S's and the dipper, and that just put maybe 2 or 3 tenths on Dan Smith from behind, and that pretty much thwarted any sort of attack that he could throw at you down the straights. It seemed like he was much quicker in a straight line. Is that because you had a little bit of extra wing, or is that down to just the car itself?
I think it was just the damage.
Oh, true. Yes, of course.
There was an issue before that.
Yep.
But yeah, that was my main concern, was being far enough away for the straights, because I wouldn't be able to do anything if he just sails past. So yeah.
There you go.
Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Parko, got the straights tonight, mate. No signs of the old shakes. That was a belter drive. How'd you feel?
I was a bit lonely by myself for more than half the race, but got the move done on Ryan, on Thurber on lap 4 or 5, and it was probably a bit of a ballsy overtake on the outside, but I was just by myself most of the time.
It was good to see, mate. You just kept it clean. You didn't have any mishaps with a blue flag scenario, did you, at all? Or?
I probably lost about 3 seconds throughout the whole race, but no big dramas.
It's always tough at the top end of town in a big field as well. I think we had 36 starters too, so you're pretty much, once we get a fair way into the race, you'd just be constantly navigating blue flags as well. So I guess that comes into your strategy and how you go about getting around them too.
It's a bit of patience.
You always need patience. That's one thing I did learn competing in the 12 hour a few years ago with my good mate David. He 2 hour stint got us to the front. I was driving, and then as soon as he gets in, it's come up on a blue flag and just sent it through on the kink, and pretty much just gets clipped, and that's the end of our race. So yeah, got to be careful around these guys too.
Yeah, we had a few mishaps in this year's 12 hour.
Same thing.
Same thing. Well, none of the 12 hour in real life stuff happened to one man, and I speak of the Season 3 champion. Dan Smith has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, mate. That is a season win again for you. You're
Another
just
one.
tallying them up here. Have you gone DJ Khaled style and just put a frame up on the wall and just, with the title, another one, and you just start planting, certificates of season wins, or is it just, grist for the mill for you here at the moment? What's the go?
No, 100%. Bottle of Durex next to it. tissue box. Off you go.
Don't we love a bit of Durex action? What about the old paw cream, mate? Did you ever get around that when you were a young
Nah,
kid?
mate, that sounds too fancy for me.
Oh, I thought we'd
Light some candles as well.
Yeah. Get a bit of Barry White on the old on the stereo system. Just set the mood, you know. Just put a roses out there, and that was when you were single, mate. You did it all for yourself. Came home, pretended you were the man of the moment. I've heard about you. I know you.
The posh one.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. The amount of neckties I went through, crazy.
Yeah, Michael Hutchins style. Goodness me.
What happened when you zip tied yourself to the old 4-poster and then you forgot the scissors? What happened there?
You know. We won't talk about that one.
A fun time had for
Mum
all,
wasn't
I'm
happy.
sure.
Classic stitch.
Classic stitcher.
See his name was called.
Barry White and bloody. I tell you what, a bit of offspring and a bit of spit. That's all we needed in the 90s, ladies and gentlemen. It's devolved into absolute rubbish here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sensational TV. It's your first time tuning in. We're here with.
Oh shit! Is the stream still live?
Stream is still live, folks. This is what you get at the end.
It's after 8:30.
It is, and 14 diehards still watching. So I'm run out of questions. So Zacho, if you got anything else.
I don't have anything else. I literally just have to say congratulations to you, Mr. Smith. That it's been a cracking season for you. You've had topsy-turvy events. You've been turned around. You've decided to not qualify for some races. Have a bit of fun at Magello. I remember has one of them as well, and you still win the championship. It's just another dimension this season. But you've got some competition coming through. Parko, Hunter, and Savile will be there if they decide to stick around for next season, so I don't think you'll have it as easy. I do have a question, though, with that to meet Corvette next season, or are we going to go for a different manufacturer? What's the deal?
I don't know. If these quick boys are jumping in, I might have to go the Medicar.
Which one's
that
one?
In the old Mustang.
The Mustang, yeah. Or the Porsche. That seems to be pretty popular. The Porsche. Is that any good?
I can't stand driving the Porsche.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Just bag of wet oats under your hands.
Can you do us a favour and just do the Aston Martin for one round and just show us how much real pace it's got, so we don't feel so shit, or if we do feel shit when we hop into it in the 12 hour, you know, can you just do that, please?
Oh yeah, might grab the Aston. The thing's a tank. I could just punt these two guys out on turn one, not cop any damage.
There you go. Slip the stewards a 50 and away you go. I love the sound effects.
Isn't it lap one, no rules?
Yeah, well, I don't know. You have to ask the boys in charge. They've been absent for a little while, so no stewards. Do your best out there. But I think we wrap it up. Zacho, what do you reckon? We've run over time.
Run over time here. It's been a long night. These drivers here are probably dead set, ready to go and hit the showers and get the old Durex out Dan Smith style and rub one out in the end. And we'll be off like the rabbits, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to this series that we've been running on the Tuesday nights. We've been broadcasting, not running it, with everyone as well. Big congratulations to Dan Smith. And to our podium getters tonight, Savile, Hunter and Parkinson, congratulations to you as well. Thank you to our viewers out there in YouTube land for this season. We hope to see you in season 4 as well. And it's been a pleasure to call the action alongside you, Christopher Munro, for this series as well. As always, it's been beautiful. So thank you again, everyone. We're going to say goodbye, good afternoon, good evening and good night from Bathurst. We'll be back on the stream, however, this weekend. Don't you worry about it. Big event, Motorsport Australia. It's unbelievable stuff. We've got the little Camaros racing around 4:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Tune in for that one. And that's when we will be on like Donkey Kong Friday night as well for the MSR Series 2 with Gen 3 action coming from Albert Park. Get in for that. But for us here and tonight, we are done. It's been a sensational TV production. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Keep it flat out.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.